Hello, my name is Kyle.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is Tony.
And we are Pseudo Adults. Welcome to episode 218 of the Pseudo Adults podcast, a show on the internet where we talk about fun things that we watched and checked out, maybe stories that we have for each other. We have a good time, and we hope you do too. And you, and you, and you, and me. I hope I have a good time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always do.
Guys, if you like what you're seeing, then check out youtube.com/SpaceZamboni and all the other channels that we have. We have Space Zamboni Gaming. Now we have Space Zamboni Dungeons & Dragons as well. And if anything happens wrong with the audio on this podcast, completely blame me. It's my fault. We're using these little mics now.
No.
Hey guys, Murder We Spoke, subscribe on YouTube. A little backwards there.
What?
We have a lot of stuff coming up. We have a lot of stuff planned. We have videos every other week. Please comment on what video you want done next. It would be very helpful. Like the shorts, like everything.
The Murder We Spoke is about?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's about murder.
And mysteries.
And speaking and mysteries.
And speaking.
And words.
Yeah.
It's about murder. It's about mystery. It's about intrigue. It's about, I don't know, dark stuff.
Ooh, spooky things.
And if you came from this show, comment, try Mexican food, beautiful mommy.
Yes.
So we know you came from Pseudo Adults Podcast.
Yeah. Show more videos, please.
Please.
And I'll be like, yeah, and the shirt will get lower every time.
Oh my God. Well,
That shirt will get lower.
my
trick.
shirt will get
We
meshier.
never said whose shirt would get lower.
Yeah.
We just said the shirt
shirts
would
are
get
dropping.
lower. The shirts would get lower.
I mean, I do got the Critical V-neck t-shirt.
Critical V.
Yeah.
That shirt's written critical V level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's down to my belly button.
All right. Comment what you want to see next and subscribe.
Survive.
Survive.
Live, learn, survive.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, click on the video and survive.
As best you can.
Okay. Also, Happy New Year.
Happy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. We're in it.
We're in it.
2025.
It's done. We're in.
It's done?
It's done. 2025. We're in.
Oh my God.
No more years for me.
Whoa.
Locked in. That's it.
And apparently with the new year comes much fewer wires, like Alex was just referring to.
I like it.
We have so much space.
Yeah.
It's hard to not pretend to lean in to talk.
Yeah, I want
still
you.
do it.
I want you guys to reach across and slap each other as hard as you can.
We'll just think we're trying to kiss each other the whole time.
Yeah.
Or just
Oh, it's
make
that
out.
time
Yeah,
again, huh?
that'd be interesting. Funny, Rachel's gonna start sitting across from each other.
Whoa.
We could look into each other's fucking eyes.
Oh, whoa. All right.
What we've
know
been
what?
missing this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
really.
Prolonged eye contact. Prolonged eye contact.
Okay. Did you guys have a fun New Year's?
We did. We did see all of that wild, miserable stuff on the New Year's. that was
that's
probably the most
every
depressing.
year.
Oh, as
I
it was
remember it
happening.
being that
Fucking
depressing. I remember it being a lot more jovial.
For years since COVID, it's been like that. Every year.
I do remember the year before of just like this
Yes.
is everyone who they did
Like
it
the
a year-
hour of it.
They
didn't make
yeah,
it.
the last hour was the year in memoriam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
And they played Green Day's Time of Your Life for that full hour.
So fucking strange because I don't know. I expected to be happier. Some channel got the Jonas Brothers. I don't know where that was, but
Yeah.
we didn't get that. We just got like of every bad news thing that happened this year. And it was through like Hulu too. That they're like New Year's Rockin' Eve. We're like hell yeah. They're like, and this
Jeff.
is the result of the presidential election. And this is 15 more
Civil
Trump
War,
interviews.
yeah.
And this is the war in Gaza. We're like, what the hell is going on with New Year?
Like, we need a reminder.
And they played You're Hot during all of that.
Yeah, they just did an overlay.
Yeah. And then you're like, this is rocking.
CGI Dick Clark was there.
Oh, they let them drink this year.
Yes.
Anderson Cooper.
Yes, they allowed him to drink
Again.
this year after that.
After all those slurs.
No, it was like he was very drunk. Not last year, the year before that. Like almost. They were both were, like almost uncontrollable.
He was cackling like a hyena.
He was.
Yeah,
and
I loved it.
They invited somebody on where I saw a clip where he went like, it was a guy.
Whoa.
He's a famous actor too. It was where like he pulled the shirt down a little and he goes, "Oh, that's not very demure of you," and you're like,
Oh my god.
And that's one of the last Vanderbilts, like that Anderson Cooper.
Anderson Cooper is mom. Yeah, he's like
The last.
The last of
Nepo
the
baby.
Vander.
He is the Nepo baby.
Well-
His son.
yeah, but you know what? He's built his own.
He did because his family had no money.
Yeah,
Because they spent all the money.
We got to go to the Vanderbilt Museum.
It's really cool.
I know. I remember going there as a wee lad.
With the library, is that the one with the
I don't
library?
remember, but I remember seeing a mummy there that probably cursed me for the rest of my life, and shrunken heads.
Did you return the coin?
No.
See you.
What? No.
The one in the library?
I got a little head.
Yeah.
Library.
Did you think of JP Morgan?
Sorry, we went to the J.P. Morgan Museum, which is
bank?
his actual like study, and he has like the first edition of like the Christmas Carol and like all these. It's like I went in and I'm like, and it was like this was his personal study. This was his like I guess I don't know. This was his like where he worked.
And they have like live music there, like violinists. Oh, that's cool.
Very fancy. His daughter collected art, so they have art that she collected.
in years.
No, it's just free
Oh.
to walk in.
Oh, I thought it. Okay.
No, it's like a free museum.
I'd like it if they just give you money when you leave. They're like, "Thanks for coming to the
Yeah,
JP Morgan.
it's-
Here's a sack of cash."
I'd be going every day to this.
Yeah.
It's free.
That'd be my new job.
Yeah, just
They
going.
have like they have editions of the Bible that like nobody else has,
even
and
the
they have the
Vatican.
one of the
James
first
Earl
editions of Martin Luther's like Bible. That actually
that's
was it was cool to see. They had a lot of. I got yelled at.
Oh.
Yeah, what did you do? You touched your
I touched the glass. They're like, "Don't touch the glass," and I was like,
Do they have cameras on you, or is it just
"No, there's
right
a
in front of
guard
everybody?
walking
You were just.
around."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's trouble.
Yeah.
I went, "All right, my dude."
I'm surprised because usually they do have like alarms set up, especially for, or at least I thought so. Like the
There's
mirror.
glass cases. Like
Yeah, and the
you can't
MoMA.
touch glass cases.
So what happened when Ben Stiller found you?
He tackled me and punched me a couple times. He got dragged out by the cops as I'm crying currently.
Yeah, okay. Lawsuit in progress.
Yes. Yeah. That's it.
I had a Brooklyn New Year. Went to a concert. I made the mistake of not caffeinating. I was like, I'll be fine. I could stay up. And by like 10 o'clock, I was just like, oh, I'm so fucking tired. And yeah, so that was a mistake. But
No.
we went to a concert, and it was an interesting way because I guess in some ways I was ignorant of what was happening on the news until I got home / the next day. So that was, I guess, probably for the best because he can't control some things. The concert was unique. It was two artists. The first time I feel like going to a show where like neither the opener nor the main band that played had a drummer. Like it was just like drum machine basically.
Wow.
And the opener in particular was someone really unique and special. I couldn't believe my eyes and ears basically. I feel like I don't want to be like overly mean by saying this is who it was and this is like how I thought. That's all. I'll just describe it. I can show you guys stuff afterwards. I hope that there's YouTube videos and this artist isn't like too new that there isn't anything online. But basically, the first thing that this artist did, which was not representative of the rest of the performance, was she was there, grabbed the guitar, and was basically like she played like an A chord a couple times, and then she took the guitar off and didn't play it again for the rest of her set. And the rest of her set was basically, you know, she would press like a button on like a Casio or something to like cue the backing track, and she would just get up to the microphone and she'd just be like make a lot of groaning noises. When she thought
was the mouth.
when she thought she was singing, and she probably thought she sounded like Shakira, she basically sounded like a dying cat. And then she would do like all kinds of like motions towards her crotch. And,
Is it a recent artist?
We have a
Like
new
a
favorite artist.
I think
Or is it an older artist?
No,
That's
no,
gotta be the
no.
live
This
one.
is a newer artist. It has to be. She's Irish, and I'd be surprised if you heard. Like, imagine this is someone who's trying to break into the scene. And yeah, I'd say it was just like a mix of like Yoko Ono's music and like Bjork or something like that.
Oh,
It was just like, okay, all right. And I really wanted to talk about it during the show, and everyone was just like, don't say a word until we leave. I was like, okay.
Oh my god!
oh wow.
Because yeah, like if I was like openly like be like, what the fuck was that? then maybe people would have beaten the shit out of me.
Yeah, because some people are, I'm guessing some people are like diehard fans of certain artists.
People were like rooting her on and stuff, and it was like a small enough venue that like they like her and like the next person like reacted like everything that was shouted at them. They're like, thank you, blah blah. So it's just like. Be like, what the fuck did you say about her? I couldn't tell when they were rooting her on if they were doing it like sarcastic.
That would have been me. I'd be like, yeah.
And you'd be singing
I
every
would
word.
be singing every word because I'd be her number
The
one
worst
fan.
would be the groans.
And you'd be doing the...
I'd be like, this is my favorite artist.
Yeah, I know.
All I
Maybe listen on the
remember
ride
is
home.
the Sonic Symphony. It's Matt going,
Yeah.
I see him jamming to every single song.
And the main the main event bin was very very solid. They were very good, completely different. They could have been like a D- band, but after that they were like, oh my god,
Juxtaposition, yeah.
they're the second coming. They're amazing.
The first person was like the ugly friend.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah,
The
it's
duff of music.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Duffy.
Well,
If you make that your personality, it might be a
Duffy
win,
the Music
you know?
Slayer.
Duffy the Music
Slayer.
Duffy who?
Wasn't Duffy an actual singer at one point?
Was
in
he?
the 2000s?
Hillary Duff.
No, her name was Duffy.
Oh, I don't know.
Let me. I'm gonna do.
Isn't Duffy like a clothing brand or something?
The Duff.
Maybe it's that
is
artist's
mine.
clothing.
When I think of Duffy, I think of Ducky from
A different
Land
word?
Before Time. Yeah.
Yes.
When I think of
It
Duffy,
was.
I think of Ducky.
Yeah.
Mercy. You remember the song Mercy?
Mercy?
This is Duffy.
Whoa. 10 seconds.
I'm begging you for mercy. Why won't
Oh,
you
really?
forgive
Wow.
me? Yeah, her name's Duffy.
Oh.
I found out that Matt
Oh.
knows everything about Brandy.
Brandy is awesome. I love
She was really cool back in the 90s.
Thank you.
She did a Cinderella
is
movie,
mine.
which was awesome, too.
She did a Cinderella movie. I knew that. I know it was cool.
She's in her new horror movie.
Yeah, I knew it.
She did. She also did a. Was it a
was in the
Muppets
Cadillac.
movie? No, she didn't do a Muppets movie. That was somebody
no,
else.
that's-
She did not a Muppets Wizard of Oz.
That was whiskey.
Unless she did, but then
Yes, then, yeah.
But then I knew that. Yeah.
Because I know there was a.
I got you.
There was a Muppets Wizard of Oz, but that's not her. That she was not it. It was
Uh-huh.
Ashante. Sorry,
Oh,
that was
Ashante?
not
Half
how
Genie
that
Hero?
was spelled. What?
Shante?
Ashante did a Wizard of Oz
genie?
Muppets movie.
no, I don't know anything about Ashanti, but I know everything about Brandy.
She was, I don't know, she was like 2000s though. But they did make a
guess.
Wizard of Oz Muppets movie. That is
Okay.
just completely forgotten.
All right, well, we have to start this episode by getting to a topic that we didn't get to last time, which is Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yo Gabba Gabba
I
Land.
love Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh my God.
The best show ever. I love you.
I've been watching it so much now.
Right? Isn't it good?
Yeah. Why? I mean, I have to.
Well-
Because AJ. So yes, AJ has discovered Yo Gabba Gabba.
I think that's because we were watching TV. I was like, "Oh my God, Yo Gabba Gabba! There's a new Yo Gabba Gabba show."
Yeah.
and I was
We
like,
put it on for
"Hey,
us.
Tate, don't you want to watch Yo Gabba Gabba?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want to watch Yo Gabba Gabba."
We were watching something else, and then yeah, we put that on, and he just like blank faced, just
Got sucked into the TV.
we knew like he likes it now, just from the expression on his face.
Is it the colors?
I think so.
think it's a
It's
little bit of
very
everything.
magical. It's a very magical
And
show.
also these monsters.
Yeah,
The monsters
Baby
the
Wee Woo.
nicest,
Baby
coolest
Wee Woo was the
monsters.
best intro to the show ever.
Yeah, Baby Wee Woo is why we stayed. We came for Yo Gabba Gabba. We stayed for Baby Wee Woo.
What?
That was the
showed you
tree
the
that we
picture,
showed
yeah.
you that came out from behind. It was like,
Oh.
And the most fucked up expression. Did not speak English.
No, and they're speaking to it, but they understand Wee-woo language.
And it's so funny because it reminds me now of like "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared," except the creepy part doesn't come.
Nope.
So it's so funny because the tree's just like, and then here comes baby Wee-woo.
Oh my god.
I'm
Now
like,
you know
this is
where
actually.
"Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared" got stuff from.
I feel like it has to. It has to come from stuff like that because it was just so. Anyway, so I tried to show AJ the regular Yo Gabba Gabba, and he's like, "No,
He doesn't like the original. The original's the best.
I thought this was still the same thing.
no, this is Yo Gabba Gabba."
Yeah,
Land."
land. This is where they have more areas to adventure
You see,
through.
I thought you were watching Yo Gabba Gabba so much you had to go to Yo Gabba Gabba Land. It's in New Jersey or something.
And there's no DJ Jazzy Jeff anymore.
No, but they. So when I was watching the original Yo Gabba Gabba,
Got a little girl.
they do a lot more repetition in the original, where it's like, okay, yeah,
I like to dance.
Is Yo Gabba Gabba Land like fully animated?
no, it's like very
Yeah, it's still the same. It's still the people in the costumes. and-
legit.
yeah, but just there's more new songs across every episode too.
Didn't we see that the Wonder Pets are
Yes,
also
there's new
coming
Wonder
back?
Pets. It's out.
Have you
It's all
seen
on
the
Apple
Wonder
TV.
Pets?
God.
What?
The Wonder Pets were
Tony
kind of
doesn't know
stupid looking.
anything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I love them though. It's so silly.
Yeah, they're like the cutout characters. It's
Of
weird.
pets, but
Yeah.
it's also like looks real, but it's cut out.
Yeah, it's like the South Park
Let
of
me-
pets, but
Yeah.
with real pet animals.
Yeah, it's really good.
Can't even picture this.
It's the
gonna show
gerbil
you.
and a duck, and
Yeah.
what's the other one? A turtle?
Yes, it was a turtle.
And then they're like,
There you go.
But now they have hedgehogs. Didn't the duck have the little hat?
yes, and a scarf, I think.
Oh yeah, that duck was
They
sick.
just talk with kitty voices, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's weird. What? So wait, is it how's?
you were just referencing Ducky from Land Before Time, but this is weird.
Because I can't even picture what the animation is based on the pictures.
It's like cut out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks just like that, except imagine the moving
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
mouth.
Oh,
It's not. It's funny.
It's like South Park
it's a-
movement.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
look, it looks a little creepy.
Just imagine like 12 frames per second instead of 24, and that's kind of how it is.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, so
It's true.
AJ was like, "No, I want the one with the girl," because the girl hosts the news show,
She does host the new girl.
and she's got crazy piercing.
She
eyes.
does. Those eyes are
Wow.
like pierces your soul.
I think-
and she stares at everything like,
Is that what got AJ in trance? He's just like hypnotized.
I think it got all of us entranced because we were all, and even on New Year's we were watching it again. Just
it's like, oh my god, Yo Gabba Gabba's on.
yeah,
Let's not watch the news anymore.
It was like Hypnotoad.
yeah. It's piercing. It's
Yeah.
like so
She's got the craziest eyes
But
I've
it-
seen on a human.
Yeah, I think it's like a D&D kind of spell where she's casting it on you while you watch it. That's why you got to keep watching. Also, that red guy's a dildo.
Yes, he is. That's my favorite part about the show. I was
For
like,
your pleasure.
oh, this is great.
Yeah.
That's probably why my dad gets such a kick. He had a little stuffed animal of the red guy, and I was like, why does he have that? And now I know because
It's a
it
big
looks like
red one-eyed
dildo.
monster.
It was so funny because Bridget was like, these all make me feel so weird except for the red guy. Yeah,
That's the host. With
Yep,
the
that's a
piercing
new
eyes.
host. Yep. I wonder if that's DJ Jazzy Jeff's daughter or something.
that'd be cool.
It's too much. Her, she has an adult face. I don't like
Oh man.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah.
It's just the eyes that pierce my soul.
Yeah.
her chin bothers me. If she turns sideways,
chin do
does
to
it
you?
grow? Like is she like Cliff Chin Man, where the chin is like out to here?
Are you intimidated
you
by
re-
her eyes? That you have to like,
You gotta look at the chin.
fucking attack her
Do
chin.
you remember the
Yeah.
guy from
That's better.
Perfection? The
what?
Perfection guy, the commercial of Perfection, the guy with the chin, Mr. Chin from Perfection.
No.
As many times as you say it, it still doesn't make me understand what this
You
is.
got to look up the Perfection Mr. Chin.
Yeah, you have to
Man.
look up Perfection, Mr. Chin, the guy with the chin from
Mr.
Perfection.
Perfection Chin.
Just hit the audio microphone. Hold your phone up to that.
He's like, it's a crazy action, a crazy contraption, the funnest action.
Oh, that's Mousetrap. No,
I was gonna say, wait a second.
whoops. No, it's definitely not Mousetrap
Pop goes
though.
perfection.
Goes.
But be quick, you're racing the clock. Pop goes perfection.
Oh, Perfection in the game.
it's
I thought some other
There's
crazy
a-
thing called Perfection.
Now it's all becoming clear to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the chin perfection.
Oh shit! Wait, no.
Did you find his chin?
It's okay. Here, let me look at it for you. It's the Perfection.
You know you have a phone too.
Yeah.
I know, but you already have yours out.
Now you can be like, oh, it's basically a board game.
Yeah.
Anything more to say about Yo Gabba Gabba Land?
It's No, that's wrong. That's my body. Okay. It's fun. It was really funny because Bridget said all these characters make me uncomfortable, but for some reason, except for the red one, and I'm like, that's because he's a big old dildo.
And you're used to it.
The red one looks like something I would buy at Target.
He lives in your dresser, of course. You're okay with him. But
It
no,
makes you feel like you're at home.
He hums to you every night.
Hums.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to hum you. That's humming.
Whoa.
He
I got it. It was
hums
a
at you.
vibration.
Yeah, I never thought about like.
He doesn't hum me. That's what he said.
He said hums.
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 I thought you said
You make
hum.
him hump you.
Yeah, he puts the hum in hum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're using.
It's a partnership.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how we're explaining to a woman.
We just
mansplained? Yeah.
Go ahead and mansplain to me like I don't know what it is.
We just did.
It took three of us, but we did it.
Yeah.
High fives, man.
I should woman-splain to you so you can go out and buy one, everyone. Here.
This episode brought to you by Vibrator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Buy the Satisfier.
Okay.
I've never been satisfied.
I've always been sad.
I'm going to circle back to another thing that was a lot of similar, like, it's in fact, we can get to it anytime, but why don't you guys talk about something that you watched, whether it's, you watched a movie, watched...
Oh, what do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the movie.
Blackberry?
Let's talk about Blackberry.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is on Disney Plus, if you must know.
And Hulu.
And
Oh, okay. The combo.
Yeah.
so Tony said, hey, you know,
Great.
that he might as well have said that, and it hurt Alex's feelings right now. But
No, I'm just yawning, and I'm trying not to yawn because the mic will pick up my yawn. So I'm like, mute.
Tony said, hey, I heard this movie's really good, and it got
97% fresh
on Rotten Tomatoes. So we're like, okay, let's try it out. I pray to God I don't get as mad as I do at that McDonald's movie. I was like, The Founder. That's a good movie, but
Yeah, it's good.
it made you angry. It made you walk away angry. But Blackberry. So we turn on Blackberry, and this movie is about the people how they created and how they founded and moved forward and became successful, and ultimately their downfall of Blackberry. So I'll let you.
Yeah. So there was a bunch of kids almost, right? Like
They were kids.
They were
like,
basically
out of-
kids.
Some of them were out of college.
Yeah, so they all came together and they created. They were creating modems for I forgot what company it was. Some modems for some company, and then they're like, "Oh, let's."
I wrote the IMDb page for
This
it, and
is
it's
so
just
strange.
a series of pictures
Yes.
like this.
Yeah, they're all.
Oh, it's just not it from the movie. It's just
That's from
them
the
posing
movie.
for
They're
the
posing.
movie.
Oh, I thought these were all like.
Yeah, I was hoping
They're not from the movie.
Where's the part where the guy
but
would?
those are the actors.
And here
from
it is.
those.
Yeah, in your head canon.
A weird movie.
It was a comedy / serious movie. It was a comedy.
Yeah, it was a
slash
dramedy.
ser- It was a dramedy.
Yeah, so but it was cool because so you see where like they're trying to sell these modems, and then the company kind of screwed them over. They're like, "Oh, the modems you sent us were defective. We're not going to pay you guys." And
How much money did they spend on those modems? They said.
so they were supposed to get $16 million for all these modems that they were making, but they spent $1.6 million to make them. So the fact that they weren't going to get paid meant they were now $1.6 million in the hole.
Wow.
So they were going to like other companies to try to sell this idea of combining email, a
like a
text,
computer with a
and,
phone.
and yeah.
Like, we're going to combine the email, text, photos into a phone, and
Yeah.
everybody would pretty much laugh them off.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, how are you
They're
going
like,
to do
what do
that?"
you mean about that? Like
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
So, one of the guys from one of the companies that they were presenting at got fired, and he goes, "You know what? Let me try this thing with the phone with them." So he goes over and he's like, "Hey, make me co-CEO, and then I'll help you
I'll
guys."
sell everything
Yeah.
for you to these people because you're not good at selling. You're good at building.
Yeah,
I'll be the face, and you be the back end
engineers. Yeah,
I really enjoyed this.
yeah, it was
And
awesome.
also made me very angry, equally as angry as the founder. So it ended up talking about like how they succeeded, how they went to these cell phone companies. So they went to Verizon and pitched the BlackBerry, and they were like, "Oh, this wouldn't work. Like, how would you make it work?" Yes, that's
That's the crew that came up with the idea.
that came up with the idea.
crazy.
So they're playing
Yeah.
all these games on the fucking computer. They're not really paying attention.
They're listening to Ninja Turtle
They're
soundtrack,
listening
like
to Ninja Turtle soundtrack a lot.
watching Indiana Jones.
Watching Indiana Jones, like it's like a regular nerdy how do they not know Star Wars? You remember? How
Yeah.
does he not know the
This
Star
is-
Wars reference?
Blowing my mind.
It's like the 80s.
Okay.
And he looks kind of close to the actual real guy.
You
in the
have
way
my
he looks.
attention.
Yeah.
And it ends up they grow the company. It ends up
So what I thought was really, they talk about like the tech behind it too, which I thought was pretty cool. Because so when they were going to Verizon's like, oh, we tried to combine that stuff into a phone, it didn't work.
it didn't work at all.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it didn't work. And then he goes, well, how did you guys do it, right? Because he said the way you guys are, if you guys were to try to use the same like bandwidth that you're using for your regular phone calls, you can only do like 10 phones in this new style. And then that's exactly what they were saying before. Like, oh, we only got 11 to work, and then it crashed.
Don't you think we've already tried this? He was like, we already had all our engineers try this, and it didn't work.
So then he comes in and goes, oh, well, what if...
Oh, he forgot the cell phone in the taxi.
Yeah,
Outside his prototype of the
prototype.
cell phone.
Oh, wow.
So he ran outside.
Yeah. So when he comes back, he explains. He's like, well, if you were to make like a server, and the server would be the one that sends it out to the different phones, you could then put like however many million phones on it and not eat up the bandwidth that you guys are using. And then they're like, oh, so that's when they started buying BlackBerries, and then people started buying them.
Forward a little bit, they buy a like property where they can do all their work and this business, and you see, so the guy selling to all these big people. He had the marketing people go into the clubs and the like private clubs and
Like
where
yacht
the rich
clubs and all the rich
are.
people are.
And then talk it up and be as loud as you can, like on the phone, being like, "Oh my God, ha!"
To make it a status symbol.
so that the rich people would be like, "We want that."
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yep.
And they overdid it at
Yep.
one point, and they oversold with servers couldn't handle how much business they
Bandwidth
were
was-
doing.
yeah.
So it pretty much like one part of it collapsed,
Yep.
or it's like
Yeah. So
crashed.
Yeah, it was causing problems. So then on the news, they're like, oh, people are having glitches with their BlackBerries. It's because the servers are getting overloaded because now there's so many of them. They didn't expect to have that many of them.
So what they did was really smart is they hacked into Verizon's without their permission. Verizon's telephone
Towers.
towers, and said we'll use this as
And yeah, so then what they did was they started using data instead of like the bandwidth, the phone bandwidth, and then that's when data started becoming a thing. Like, it's so. Well,
they come up with unlimited texting too because they
Yeah.
found how to encrypt text messages on a phone so that nobody will ever have any access to them.
Yeah.
So they were able to, and that actually saved one of the guys later on.
Yeah. So then when they were trying to figure out like how we're gonna get all these different devices in, they're like, oh well, like our crew is not gonna be smart enough to do it. Like we're not gonna be able to do it. So the other guy, the co-CEO, he goes to Google, Nintendo, like all these different places to find engineers.
And recruited
them.
Added from all there.
But the way he did it was like, oh,
So fast.
how much do you guys like need for me to poach you basically from your companies? And so he goes, I'll give you guys $10 million.
Wow.
Each person.
Each person. And he said the way he did it was he had stock options that he backdated, so that way when
Very illegal.
the stocks went up,
Yeah, what the hell?
that would be all their money. That's how they got their money. So then that's how he got all these engineers, and they came together and they figured it out. But
it ended up backfiring on them. Like, so then you see them watching a TV and it's Apple releasing
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs years later. Steve Jobs was releasing the iPhone and them panicking to be like, there's nothing we can do to. We were just about to release the BlackBerry Bold, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's nothing that we can do to catch up to them. So he was the main guy who made all the products, was very big on not selling it out to China because China doesn't know how to make anything. They do know how to make stuff, but they make it fast and quick and as cheap as possible. And then he ended up saying, let's just source it to China because we don't have a choice. And then all the phones came in defective. They have the FCC, was it FCC? SEC coming in,
Exchange Commission.
going, hey, we know all your signatures were on here and you backdated all those stuff. And the guy who made all the phones didn't know this was happening, that the marketing guy was doing that.
Oh.
So they made him a deal saying, hey, if you give up the marketing guy who helped them start, then your company will be safe and you'll be safe and you won't go to jail. So he did that. And it ended up being that those phones ended up being defective. Verizon sued them for $500 million or $1 billion.
I think it was like 50 million.
$50 million for their losses because every single BlackBerry Bull got returned. So they had a loss because it was defective. And the worst part is the guy got arrested from the SEC, but because the phone was encrypted with the text messages, they couldn't get any proof. So the guy got away scot-free.
Wow, holy shit.
And they had a guy for the guy who actually physically made the phone. I don't know his name, but he made the phone. He had a best friend that was always with him. And then at one point, the best friend pulled out because the guy was being an asshole. He is now secretly one of the richest men in the world because he pulled out at a high of BlackBerry.
Not anymore.
Well, actually, no, because he pulled out with his stocks.
No, he's saying now everybody knows that.
Yeah.
It's not secret anymore.
Well, they probably had to get his permission to have him in the movie. But so the guy ended up getting sued. The other guy ended up getting out scot-free. And his friend ended up being rich. And the company he ended up resigning from the company. So downfall of his company because of Apple.
Wow.
But he also underestimated how big Apple would get. He was like, oh, no, that's stupid. Why would you have a keyboard on the screen? Like, people like feeling the click of the buttons. They're not going to go to Apple. And they're all talking about, like, no, but Apple has their apps are being made by, third-party people, and that's so amazing. And even the people making it were talking about it. I enjoyed that movie. It made me very angry at that. And I was like, this guy who messed up the whole thing by doing, it wasn't just him, but.
Yeah, but also if it wasn't for him, Apple wouldn't have came out with the stuff they came out with, and then we wouldn't have the iPhone today.
Yeah, you're right, because he was the one that made internet on the phone.
Yep.
Really did a lot of stuff that Apple now uses. God, the clicking of the sound of the buttons was from BlackBerry being so addictive because of the clicking.
Was Steve Jobs at the end, like twirling his evil mustache?
They showed him on stage. TV. They showed him on TV, like an actual footage of the thing where everybody's like, "Is that even possible?" They're like, they have everything done.
Yeah.
I just felt bad. It made me go, "Oh shit, that fucking blows."
Yeah.
Steve Jobs still Michael Fassbender?
No, I don't.
It was actually.
I think it was actual footage.
It was actual footage of Steve Jobs. He's dead. So
All of a sudden, they just use real footage?
I think
they
so.
did. They did use real footage. They were
I don't know.
him presenting, and then they brought on the CEO
Of AT&T.
AT&T, who originally backed the Apple. That's originally what happened. Was Verizon was backing BlackBerry, AT&T was backing iPhone.
Whoa. I didn't realize that there was a phone war like that. I thought Apple had, was all across the board at that.
That does ring a bell. I kind of forgot because,
Started there.
I think it took a bunch of generations for, I feel like, any of us to actually start getting iPhones. And
Yeah.
I think the difference between Apple and BlackBerry was that Apple said, no, we're going to have our own stores also, which is not what BlackBerry did. They went through, specifically through the Verizon and stuff.
Carriers.
So they said, no, we're going to have our own separate, stores and our own separate carriers and our own separate, they made it their own and, I don't know.
I think part of the problem was,
They very much
few things.
underestimated them.
Yeah, well, so they underestimated Apple and thinking that people wouldn't want to have just a big screen, right? Because they're like, oh, no, people like to click. But they're saying that. How do they really know that without talking to the customers, right? That's one of the things. Yeah,
They
exactly.
showed even the graphs to the marketing guy who was also in deep trouble. He was trying to buy, at the end he was trying to buy NHL. He was trying to take
liked
over
hockey.
the hockey department, and they're like, no, you're good. And they blew him off pretty much at the end.
hockey.
He was a very big hockey fan, and he wanted to
He almost did.
NHL to Canada. So this was all through Canada. They all created the BlackBerry in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they had the Bank of Montreal. They had
Interesting.
the loan that was taken out by them, and so everything. I don't know. It was just a lot of things.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was really good.
It was cool. It was.
It sounds like you guys watched a movie that, did it just come out or in the last couple months?
23.
It's been out.
Okay.
2004.
So that movie went under our radar for
Yeah.
the whole year.
Yeah.
But you found it.
Yep.
How'd you find it?
I was looking up what's some good movies for entrepreneurs to watch.
Oh.
That popped up.
That was the founder was also good with the, but that was a bad example of being a jerk. But
Was that the McDonald's one?
Yeah,
Yeah, founder.
it was a good movie too. It was just
Quarter McFounder?
Yeah.
It was good. It made you mad.
Yeah.
then I was like, what the? I was like, the guy who actually did something wrong got away with everything.
It happens.
yeah.
He does, and he's
Bernie
living
made
a good
off?
life. Yeah, exactly.
Until he didn't.
Until he didn't. No, they said they weren't able to find anything on him. So all that stuff he did, he was able to, because it was encrypted, they couldn't get in and hack anything to get into anywhere.
What were we talking about right now?
Blackberry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't able
Yeah, we
to get
switched
in, so
Bernie Madoff, McDonald's.
we got a little,
Okay.
little.
Yeah.
sidetracked.
We're back.
We're back.
No, but with every good comes bad, every bad comes good. So
Yep.
you take it for how it is.
They actually did really good casting people. Like they look similar. I mean, not exactly the same, but they look similar to who they cast.
So we have to go to rich people's houses and just watch our podcast, and then they'll be like, "Oh, what is that podcast?"
yeah,
pretty much.
We have to go to their yacht clubs and be like, ah. They're like,
Who
what
the fuck
is
is this
guy?
guy? This podcast is so funny.
Like, is that you?
What? Oh,
Literally fucking you. Liz.
See me, I'm wearing glasses and a mustache.
Yes.
The marketing guy was very angry. He was very like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like he was that guy that was like
yeah.
lost his shit on like every little thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was funny though. There was parts that was funny,
Definitely, yeah.
but
Good deal. Okay, so I'll watch that on Hulu, I guess. Okay. I don't know. I've been curious to. We haven't talked about the show Secret Level at all on Pseudo Adults.
Oh, that's true.
I think I watched every episode I care to watch, which is not many of them. Have you guys seen?
We haven't seen it yet.
None at all.
no.
And I've just seen some.
Yep.
I've
I've seen
seen.
some.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
Yeah. Exactly. You were the one who I think pointed out like, oh, the episodes are short, like really short, like somewhere between like barely over 5 minutes, and then some might be 20 minutes long. So it's like somewhere between like a normal short TV half hour and like whatever, like
Like a clip.
like oh, yeah, like a glorified commercial.
Are they longer or shorter than Love, Death, and Robots?
I haven't
Isn't Love, Death, and Robots like 15 minutes?
Yeah, I thought those were. Yeah. I thought
So
those
these are like
an average shorter.
yeah, these are shorter.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they all feel like trailers for something bigger, and then they're not. It's like that's the whole thing. Especially the Pac-Man episode. That felt. Remember we watched that one? This is the one where the guy's walking around and
Yes.
he'll be.
Yep.
Yeah, and they even like montage so many times. It's like, oh yeah, this is a trailer for the Pac-Man movie, and even the Mega Man one too. It's like that one was so fucking cool, and then it's just like that's
It's cool, but I don't know. I watched it with Matt also. Be like, oh, you haven't seen it? Let's just watch it because it's only 5 minutes, and
yeah.
we're like
5 minutes.
blink and it's over. But it's like it's really cool, but also I'm sad when it's over. Like that.
Yeah,
And we also had our own humor going on during it.
Oh, not that bad, right?
What?
Actually, no.
how were you guys
Oh
doing?
my god.
I forgot it evolved from something bad to something maybe. Oh, it's bad in a different way, but less.
Oh boy.
It was basically like, boy, you've done well. Now let me get the belt.
I see.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's like, if you did poorly, then I would have gotten the belt.
It was anti-Donna-ish.
If you say so.
I feel like that's what they would
They
do.
just hit each other with belts all the time.
Yeah.
Then they do this.
Yeah.
And then they do this.
Auntie Donna, Mega Man.
So which ones were good?
I like the Mega Man one.
The Mega Man one
So
was
that's one. Was there
Yeah.
any other ones that were good?
Yeah.
Okay. Like.
Every single one I watched, I thought I liked.
Yeah.
Except for the first one. The first one I gave up halfway through. Was it Dungeons and Dragons or
It
something?
it was very spellcasty, very guy in a cage. Yeah.
I just was like, not. It's like the show's so speedy that it needs to like introduce you to characters and make you care, and then tell a quick story and wrap it up. like the second episode, I thought did that pretty well. I don't even remember what the property was, but it's just like he enters like a fighting tournament, and I don't know, something happens, and
The Sifu one was cool. It's like the generational fighting, where it's like he ages up, and then yeah, that was really cool. The way they handled it was neat.
that was episode 2. I like that one. I like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, and not entirely for the wrong reasons. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger voices a character in one, and the setup is pretty rushed. To be fair to the show's downfall, is like he washes up. He gets a crew. We're gonna go for this mystical island. That he's got a whole ship, a whole crew, and there's a storm, and he washes up on the island with just him and his like assistant, and the assistant's like, first he's like, oh my god, we're here at the island, we survived the storm, and then the assistant's like, it appears that the whole crew has perished in the storm. Like, oh, okay, that's okay. And then it's just like within like under a minute, like they kill the entire crew in a storm, and he's already at the island, and he just washed up there by coincidence. But then once he's there, everyone on that island like basically is immortal. Like if you get killed, you basically respawn and wake back up, and you get to like, resume basically. So it's like being murdered is temporary.
Interesting.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, the character that he voices, is just incredibly overconfident. He's basically someone who, it becomes apparent, was babied his whole life, and he thinks he's way more impressive than he really is, and he loses every fight that he gets in, and he keeps getting murdered, and he still like has such a cockiness that he's just like refuses to accept that he's not amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he's just like, then I will rule an immortal kingdom. And there's so many Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then later on, it implies that he spent so much time there that he could speak the native language, and he starts talking in Arnold Schwarzeneggerisms.
Whoa! Yeah, it sounds like it's somebody doing an impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's him impersonating himself doing another person's impersonation of himself.
That's the weird thing, because he was infamously so bad at voice acting that Mortal Kombat recasted him with someone who sounds like him. So I'm surprised that they casted him to.
Oh, you could tell that he's not a good voice actor.
There's a Tommy Wiseau-ishness to it.
Yeah. Infamously bad.
But I don't know. I was also charmed somehow.
Yeah.
And Matt pointed out, like, everything looks very impressive on the show, but the guy who plays his assistant, like, almost looks like a real person. Like,
it's like they just plucked him and threw him in the show.
That's weird.
Like they pointed and clicked like the mocap of the person in there.
I don't know why I'm like so impressed. He looks like a real human.
Yeah, he's in a mocap suit.
Yeah, but then Arnold Schwarzenegger is like
just cartoony.
Yeah, the cartoony version of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Weird.
Yeah, as is everyone else, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. For whatever reason, they're just like, make him look really sharp. He's just like an old guy with missing an arm.
Yeah, his right arm.
Yeah, what are you going to do if you lose your right arm?
I do feel like the show
Aesthetic.
was given the budget for like half an hour, and they're like, no, fuck it, we'll make it 5 minutes, we'll make it as good as possible for the 5 minutes that we have. Because even the Pac-Man one is like really beautiful looking, and it's like strange. It's not Pac-Man. It's definitely just, it was an advertisement for their new game that looks crappier than the show, but it's still beautiful, and it's like whoa, and it's cool to look at, and it's neat.
So how many of them are licensed characters versus not licensed? All of them are?
How many of them are like games that aren't even like out yet? Or I don't know. I thought a lot of them were stuff that just like, I feel like the game is promoting these new franchises that no one's heard of.
No, yeah, they're all from other games, like even the Warhammer and
I know about. Yeah, I felt like the back half more so of episodes.
So what was the Schwarzenegger one though? What game was that?
I looked it up. Eternium, New World Eternium. I think that's what it was.
Oh, so it is a game. Oh, that's I never.
Yeah, they're
heard
all
of
based
that
on games.
Yeah, came out last year. I looked it up. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I had heard of most of them. I heard that the one with like Kratos in the big city was like not what it actually is, and everyone was like, we were baited. So that's why I was just like, that one is like 19 minutes long, and now that to me sounds like it's like an hour. So I'm like, I'm not watching an hour-long episode where Kratos doesn't even show up, or like maybe he's like on a TV on a TV. I don't know what the fuck that.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either. Though.
I'm like
The PlayStation one they called it, right? The PlayStation episode.
supposedly, but it's got a whole different episode name and it doesn't say this is the PlayStation episode, which would be helpful.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The episodes are so short. The Mega Man gave me the feels of like maybe people will take to the internet and be like, "Hey, Amazon, make a whole Mega Man series like this, and if enough people do it, maybe Jeff Bezos will lift his armpit and the money will fall out." And
I wanted that. That fucking episode was cool. And I watched it because I think it was Christmas with AJ, and I was like, it's out, we're gonna watch the Mega Man episode. And he's like, oh, okay, and he was in love with it. It was awesome, very cool. It's like a trailer for something that doesn't exist. It sucks.
You think that's what they're trying to do, though?
it's like it's amazing. It sucks.
I wonder if they were trying to judge.
The concept is so
people
cool.
would like it.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like if you make a season 2 of this show, is it like What If?
Yeah.
It's like there's a season 2, so there's another.
You get another 5 minutes of Mega Man.
Yeah.
Like, is that really what you want?
Yeah, but do you think that that's what they were intending to do, or they were intending to try to get fanfare to be like, make this an actual thing for each one, and then it'd be like a trailer show, basically?
I would like to think that, but I don't think that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like a lot of the other anthology shows where it's just like, this is the thing and that's it. Like, this is what you're served. Now eat your poo.
When I said it, I was just like hopeful wishes, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, maybe it could, even if it's not what the show intended to do, maybe that's what people are like, just make that Mega Man show, even if it takes you 5 years, just fucking do it. And maybe they would. I don't know. If there's enough of the outcry. But yeah, easy enough show to watch, though. So
It is. Yeah. I didn't watch all of it. I just watched the ones I cared about. Mm-hmm. Except the PlayStation one. I didn't watch.
was I hearing that you guys were watching more Dragon Ball Daima?
Yep.
Yep.
So we saw the first 2 episodes. The first episode was real slow. It was basically them just watching the Boo saga.
First few are a little slow, and then it picks up.
Okay.
They're binge watching. You're watching them binge watching Dragon Ball Z. Like,
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. They're like, oh, let's fast forward. Like,
Yeah, this
all right.
episode.
Yeah. It's like, oh, all right. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how, because I see what you mean. They're exploring like the demon realm, and like they're saying like, oh, like Piccolo and his race are all like from the demon. Like,
yeah, they dropped so much lore.
Yeah.
I was just like, I wasn't expecting this, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck around.
I'm very excited for the dubbed version
Yeah.
of it. I
Not just in
do
the subtitles.
better. I can't pay attention.
I just hope
Whether it's something.
I just hope they do it
Yeah.
faithfully enough. There's a lot of things that are just fundamentally wrong with the dub, but hopefully they just do
I
it.
pray to God.
Yeah.
It's just like it's easier for my brain to wrap around it.
Yeah,
I know. And I've watched a ton of like stuff, but like
From the time we're recording, the dub is supposed to start like a week from like next Friday. I was just reading on.
Oh, nice.
You guys have the Crunchyroll? I don't know if it's exclusive to it or not, but
I mean, I do.
I don't know.
Yeah,
If
I
it's,
do too.
I don't know if it's exclusive because
I don't pay for it, but I have the account.
the show itself.
To my account. I have your account, Alex.
No, I have it because I used to pay for it before I made it.
Oh, gotcha.
I used to pay for it.
The dub's about to start, so
Yeah.
take that as you will.
Okay.
And if you want to watch it, then you have that option too. You get to watch that. You get to watch them binge watch it in English now.
Ooh.
I'm very curious to hear what all the voices will sound like, especially the shrunken version, younger
Baby
versions. Everyone, I love the voices that they have as the younger characters in the main Japanese version. Like everyone sounds like I kind of like I watched Super and watch older stuff too, and I was just like I kind of forgot that they're new characters, like new voices. It just like Vegeta sounds like Vegeta.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. All right.
I think it's cool because I watched a little bit of Sandland, and it has a similar vibe to that too, even in terms of like character design. I mean, obviously,
The modern Toriyama skinny characters, yeah.
and even like the vibe of how that show is like exploring that version of the world too.
Yeah, exactly. The Sailing is about demons having a bad rap, basically. And yeah, it just shows like he's been like infatuated with like the whole like angels and demons stuff since, I guess probably the 90s, up until his passing. Yeah, I had the realization that I still have to finish Sandland. You know, there's like kind of like a two halves. There's like the movie adaptation, and then there's like a second story as well.
Yep.
And I'm like halfway through that second story, and I didn't realize that it's dubbed now too. So yeah, I'm gonna watch the shit out of that, and it's a fun show as well. We're talking about Dragon Ball Daima.
Oh, yeah, we got more into that.
How? I mean, I guess you're not gonna. Hopefully, me talking about it isn't ruining moments for you.
No. Still enjoying it.
Okay. It's like beat for beat. Like you saw like
There's Shenron. He's saying he's only going to give one wish to them.
We got to the part where Trunks gets little again, and Tony's like, now I know why Alex is mad again.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Don't talk about Trunks.
Damn it.
He's smaller than before.
Yeah,
he's already
what the
small.
hell?
But what if it's ever been? But what if he's like a Rugrat and he can talk? He's like,
Who's going to breastfeed him? Bulma's a child now.
Yeah.
He's going to starve and die.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Luke Skywalker with his blue helmet.
Do they ever flash back to like Trunks? Because Bulma's like, oh, I left him with a babysitter. I was like, who? What babysitter?
And I know, it can't be Piccolo. He's part of the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
you don't think the richest woman in the world could get a babysitter, and you can't just trust that it's okay
She is rich. She might have some
with her superpowered babies
Yeah, like how's that?
that still have their brains and like
Right, because they still know that they're like
capable of doing some superpowered mayhem.
yeah, because their minds aren't babies, and they were even talking to each other.
Lucky, kill me.
Yeah.
Very mature.
Yeah.
Let me die.
Imagine being a man trapped in a baby's body.
Oh, no, I don't think I'd mind that much. I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to work. I could stay home all day and watch cartoons. All right.
I lose
You
the ability
poop yourself all the time.
Well,
yourself,
if I
you
got
piss
the
yourself,
mind
and
of
you
an
can't jerk
adult,
off.
I don't know. That's a waste of my worries. As long as I don't have
sit
to...
in it.
Well, that part, that's the only thing that does suck. But
Yeah.
if I got the brain of an adult, I think I'd be like a baby genius and able to
You would be
process
boss
myself.
baby.
I would. I'd be like, I'm going to clean myself. I know how to do this. Give me them wipes.
Can't even hold your head up, but you're like trying to wipe yourself.
You would know exactly like which leg workouts to do, so you can start walking like at like 2 weeks of age.
I'd be like, I don't need to pay taxes. You pay my taxes.
Strongest baby.
Except you can't speak.
Yeah, exactly.
With my adult brain, I could do
You gotta
anything.
teach yourself how to work a baby body.
Yeah.
You know how to work an adult body with your adult brain.
So I just do a couple of squats for like 2 days, and I'll have this.
Can't even hold your head up. How you doing squats?
So I do neck exercises for like 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. He'll know exactly what to exercise with his adult brain that he'll get to a manageable point much quicker than the average
And
baby.
if I was a sane baby, I mean, come on, I'd be able to do anything anytime I want.
Yeah,
I'd fly around. I'd be able to wash my own hands after cleaning my own poopy butt.
I have to wash my own hands.
Like you can't wash our hands now.
I can. I love washing my
We're still
hands.
Trunks in this scenario, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
It's too bad their tails didn't come back. Imagine.
I know.
Oh,
they
yeah.
should.
That would, oh my god! Imagine when they do cut away, their tails grow back and they look at the moon.
Oh my god.
They come back and they have to like everything was destroyed.
That'd be nuts.
There's that show. Anything that you guys are up to? We're saying or
Hot Frost.
oh, I meant Dragon Ball Daima.
For Daima?
Daima? Oh,
No, it's fun. I like it. I like the exploration of things. There's a lot of exposition, and then there's
there is. They got all the bugs. We saw all the different bugs. And the Supreme Kai's like, ew, bugs. And it's like, I don't know. If you grow up in the demon realm, I feel like you kind of are used to the diet.
Yeah.
But to each their own. Everybody's got.
I just want to see all the bugs be used.
Yeah,
what I'm waiting
especially
for.
since they could rejuvenate anything. They got like the sensu bean of bugs. Who would want to eat that, even if it's gross? I don't know.
Yeah. Bug time, baby.
Yeah, bug me up.
There was a scene in the last episode or so. It's like they keep doing Piccolo a little dirty, and where it's just like there's this like infamous scene line in Dragon Ball Super where they say where Piccolo says, who's known as to be so wise, he's like, Vegeta's not one to underestimate his enemy. And everyone's like, that time Android 18 kicked the shit out of him. That time Cell kicked the shit out of him. That time
they kicked the shit out of
snipe everyone. Vegeta because he overestimated his enemy. They're like, Piccolo. There's another line that Piccolo had. They're like, really, Piccolo? And you'll probably realize it when you get to it. But on the other hand, what was I going to say about Vegeta? There is a funny line. I think it was in the last episode. They're on like an off week. But there was like a it's about the bugs. That's what made me think about it. Like Vegeta's offered a bug. He's like, ew, why would I eat that? And then it's like they knew that the internet would get upset about that line, and so they were like prepared, because if you remember the very first introduction of Vegeta, he's like with Nappa, like
Eating bugs,
eating like a bug alien that they had just killed, like on their way to Earth or whatever. And so it's not like Goku knows that, but Goku probably just knows that Vegeta used to eat bugs. He's like, come on, I used to eat bugs all the time. And Vegeta's just like, I have more refined taste.
That's awesome.
I have a rich wife.
Yeah.
You kind of like brought out the royalty in him.
That's so funny.
All right. So let's see what else we got. So you guys saw Smile 2?
Ooh, yeah. Smile 2 was good.
Okay.
Was it?
It was cool. It was neat. Very trippy. I feel like a little more like out there than the first one.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Does it feel like a very different movie though?
No. It still feels like the same kind of movie, except now it's like A Star is Born.
Yeah, and they open it with that cop guy, and you're like, God damn it, you stupid
man.
cop guy.
Yeah.
God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because we talked about so much, like, how could he fuck this up?
Yeah.
He literally just go shoot somebody in front of anybody and then be in jail? No. He tries his own, like, vigilante justice shit. It's like, what the fuck were you doing, man? It sucks, because I do like the cop guy, but, I mean, in the way of Smile, you can't really love any character too much, because...
Right.
Yeah, it was wild.
But, yeah, it was really...
That intro was like all gas, too.
I know. It was
because
so
it's like everything hitting all at once as well.
Did
It's
the
like,
main character's boyfriend look like his dad in the Shining?
No, but you could tell when he does show up, because he does his little...
He does this.
It's got Kenny Nicholson in it.
Yeah.
He does his smile.
He does. He's like perfect at doing that same smile.
Yeah,
which
I mean, it's
get
kind
it.
of like, oh, there it is. And then it's like, okay.
Yeah. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, it's very passive, but you could tell that that's what they're doing. I think in terms of stakes and stuff, it's kind of like if Mysterio is like gassing Spider-Man or Scarecrow's gassing Batman for a whole movie. It's really cool the way they do stuff. And like the thinking you're in control, but you're not so many times. Like, oh, fuck, that was cool.
yeah, there's a lot of good like psych outs in that movie. And then like the creature, I feel like they upped it just by he looks a little sillier, but in a cool way. I don't know, I like it. You made me think of like the Abnormal from Doug.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I really liked it. I recommend it. We actually bought it, right? Yeah, we bought it. Oh, wow. On Prime, because I was like, I want to fucking watch this movie.
It was definitely worth a watch. It was dog crap. Don't watch it.
If you like the first one,
Yeah,
you're going to like this one, I think. I'm pretty sure. And then it's also like where this one ends, it's like this can only escalate from here.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay. And you guys watched a movie that I imagine is a similar vein called Romantic Killer?
Oh yeah, no, it's so this is an anime on Netflix.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it a movie or a show?
It's a show.
Oh, okay.
So we started watching it, and then I was like, Tony, you have to watch this. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of funny. It's about a girl who is not interested in dating. She's a gamer. She eats a lot of chocolate, and she loves her cat. And those are the three things in her life that keep her alive, or quote unquote. So one day she orders this game, and it's like a romance game that you can choose what character you want to romance and whatever. And it ends up being this fairy-like creature pops through the TV. It's like this really jibby round creature, and she's like, "Oh, surprise! You won this contest where I'm going to put these like romance interests into your life, and but to do that, I have to take away everything you love." So she takes away the games. All the games turn into like wrappers of chocolate.
Whoa.
There's no more chocolate in the whole entire country. She goes to every store and she's like, no, on the ground. The mom and dad move away to America and leave her in that house and take the cat with them. So she's not only that, but she's now alone without anything.
Oh my God.
So it's her trying to resist this chibi creature, and this creature makes situations, puts her in romantic situations. She's like, no, I see what you're doing. No. Puts her in like the dating sim situations.
Like all the tropes, the romantic tropes. So the whole show is basically her trying to defeat the romantic tropes that happen. Yeah.
It's really cute. If you like cute, romantic, cute.
She like cute romantic tropes.
I like the romantic tropes along with it being like kind of silly.
Yeah.
It's a good.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool looking.
Yeah.
That's a little chibi guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be good. That's
Oh, he's cool.
and she smacks him all the time. She goes, "Bah!" And he goes across the room. Like, she does not like him. She beats him up every time she sees him. But he secretly knows everything that he makes situations happen to the love interest where they have to like move in with her because there's no other alternative, or like, it's really cool. I enjoyed it. It's a fun little romp.
How many episodes?
I don't know. We're up to third.
Fourth one, I think.
Okay.
It's kind
I
of.
don't think there's that many. It's a Netflix one, so.
It's a Netflix.
How many?
Yeah, part 1 and 3.
This is the way.
How many episodes was Dan to Dan?
12.
12. So it's probably 12.
Yeah.
I could look.
It's the usual season.
Yeah.
And that was your show because you finished Dan to Dan.
Yeah, that was like, let me find something that's like casual. That I can watch.
I recommended Dan to someone, and they said, show was really good, 9 out of 10, because there was no one named Dan in it.
Whoa.
Well,
The Dan.
I did look up what Dan to Dan meant, and I forgot what it means. It's just like some really vague concept or something.
Yeah, it was like three. I looked it up too. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like 3 different words that end with Dan, but it's something like I think it's still for like something romance, something else, and something else. Like 3 different genres or something like
okay.
that.
So it's just
That's what Dan to Dan comes from.
it's just like it's a smush of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was also looked up like the artists and stuff because when something's popular and something I like, I try to figure out how it's popular so we can like implement that stuff to our stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, where did this come from? So basically, he pitched 3 different shows, like 3 mangas to Shonen Jump.
Oh, cool.
And they were all declined. And he's like, oh man, like I don't feel any more motivation. He actually was the assistant to the guy who did Chainsaw Man.
Wow.
And so he's like, I don't feel any more motivation or anything like that. So someone said, why don't you just like free draw, right? Just draw whatever. So he just started drawing these weird creatures, which became the yokai and the aliens. And it was and he said he read 100 different romance mangas to try to figure out like what makes those tick. And then so he implemented those ideas with all his freehand drawings, and his Shonen Jump Plus picked it up, and then that's how it started becoming popular. And then so I also looked at the people who did the music, Creepy Nuts. And so the reason why Creepy Nuts started becoming popular and got to the point where they did Dan to Dan was because some other manga writer was like, oh, I listened to one of their songs, and it's just one guy who's like a underground rap artist and a DJ, and they just came together like, hey, let's mix music. So one of the manga artists was like, oh, I really like this one song that you guys did. Can I name my manga after your song? And it then they took like some elements of it to make some manga. And then the manga became a show, and they're like, oh, well, now we're definitely got to have them do the music for the show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so then that song became popular, and the opening became popular. So then this other manga said, oh, Creepy Nuts, do our thing too. And then so they did some other one. That one blew off the charts in Japan. So then they're like, all right, now we got this Dan to Dan one. Why don't you guys do that? And they're like, all right, yeah. So that's how that happened.
Dang.
So we should change our name to Creepy Beans or something.
Yeah, Creepy Beans.
Yeah. I think that was a takeaway, right?
Yes.
100%.
I was watching another New Year's Eve concert because apparently that's like the thing now. Apparently, there's like a lot of concerts on New Year's Eve, and one of my favorite artists, Porter Robinson, and he did like this 2+ hour DJ set for New Year's Eve, and just like in the middle when like wonder what's gonna happen at this point, you just like broke out the Dan to Dan theme song and like with like extra stuff mixed into it. It was very cool, and everyone was really into it. It was like, holy shit.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, and the guy who did like the the storyboarding for it is interesting because he said, I'm not very artistic, So what he did was he watched a whole bunch of different movies and saw like things that he liked in the movies and made like this big booklet of all the shots that he liked, and he incorporated that into the show.
That's neat.
Yeah,
It's either animated. The beginning is taken from
from a whole bunch of different things. Like
a bunch of different things.
like you got the Carlton dance from.
They did the same thing in Chainsaw Man. There's a lot of references to like other media in there.
So I wonder if that's the same guy who did both.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Chainsaw Man. I guess it's got more to it than just a man
You showed it to me, and it was cool.
chainsaw.
Is it good?
head.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's really good and it's fun and it's weird. And the first episode's awesome.
Oh, nice.
And he's got like this Puccina little pet thing that becomes.
Chainsaw,
Yeah, that.
right?
I've seen a lot of like of the stuffed animals. In that
Yes,
thing,
yeah.
They we started watching we watch. I fell asleep halfway through because that's my thing. Don't watch it late at night. And Solo Leveling.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
So far, yeah. So far, it's
I liked it
interesting.
so far from what I saw. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I feel like it also has like some, like maybe you like it because it's like, I'm trying to think, what is that one? The Attack of Titans. It kind of has that like
Sort of, yeah. So
feeling.
the
to
way
it.
solo leveling works is in this world, it's like our normal world, but then all of a sudden one day these dimensional portals open up and monsters from like Dungeons and Dragons type monsters start popping up, and we're using normal weapons. They're like, it's not working. So
people start getting
getting abilities, and then
they're leveled A, B, C.
so S rank.
Yeah.
A rank, B rank, C rank, D rank, and there's only one E rank guy, and that's the main character. And
And you can't change your level.
yeah, so once you get into a level,
they're like, that's it.
Yeah.
You get these abilities and you can't level them up.
And you like this show?
yeah.
Watch fucking My Hero Academia. You're just describing the same shit. You're like, oh yeah, this is so cool. He's E level, but Midoriya, you're like, oh fuck that guy. He should be Batman.
But that's the thing, Midoriya levels up.
Yeah, he does.
So, I mean, I like the concept of an average everyday man. Yeah, like,
No, it's just
I
funny.
gotta figure this out.
Yeah,
I'm down.
I gotta see why. I don't know. It's
good.
Maybe I don't know. I was a cop at the time. Maybe it has some.
They were criminals to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can always watch a second.
Damn vigilantes.
Yeah. We showed you a good one. Just start from the beginning and give it a shot. And you'll see, because he's so cool and he's so smart. He's fucking awesome.
And he always sits in that spot being like, you'll never be.
Yeah,
You'll never be a hero.
You'll never make it. You'll never make it.
until All Might comes around with his hair. He's like, eat this.
scrotum.
Yeah. Eat
Yeah. You'll like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why you like this as a cop.
Now you're going to like it.
Let me get my belt.
Midoriya.
Young Midoriya.
You're going to have a perk and we're going to find a way at.
I actually I'm thinking about the concept now. I think the reason why is because like Midoriya is the main character, right?
Yeah.
Or Deku.
Or Deku?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes.
A little
by gold.
superhero name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Deku is easier to say. I'll say Deku.
That's why they do it.
okay.
Yeah. The love interest is like, I'm not going to learn your real name.
Except All Might, he always refers to
young Midoriya. Young dipshit.
The dub was a choice.
But I think so.
Vegeta's All Might. I don't know if that helps.
Deku gets his powers because he just eats this thing.
No, his body could barely handle it.
Yes.
And it's a perk that's passed down from person to person. All Might sees him and is like, oh, this guy, even though he doesn't have a perk, he's putting his life on the line. I'm going to train his body to be able to handle this perk, and I'm going to pass this perk on to him.
Quirk.
Yeah, Quirk.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Potato potato.
Yeah.
Quirky. But when you're saying the generation to generation, that's literally every commercial break. Like,
Yeah.
where it's kind of like the refresher, or just like this character's face and their quirk and whatever characteristics that define them. Is just like every commercial break, but it's mostly that for season probably 1 and 2 or something like that, from generation to generation.
Interesting.
It's called One for All, and then you're gonna meet a character later called All for One, and oh my god, are they opposites?
And they attract.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now, if you want to picture the show, just while I was saying that, just picture just behind
That's
me
the song
talking,
all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's the inspirational music.
Every time a big
good.
moment's happening, that song's going.
Yeah.
But also, I got the Mob Psycho Blu-ray set, and and it's a fantastic show. I would say, I don't know, it's got all the eye-catchy things that your eyes liked about Dan to Dan, like all over that show.
What I remember you mentioning it before, but what was this like a synopsis of that show? Because I heard that show's good too.
Okay, yeah. So it follows the main character, who also has a much longer name, but some people just call him Mob. Okay. Mobu. And he is a boy in, I want to say, I don't know, like junior high school age or something. It's kind of vague. It's like the junior high school through high school. Some kids look like kids, and then there's like the body improvement team that are like big bulky dudes, and they're all really supportive and helpful of him trying to like improve himself. So he's got this ability that he's just innately born with, where he could see spirits, and he's kind of like a little human Ghostbuster in some ways. Like he could basically, what do we call it? Like I'm forgetting the words that they use since I last watched it. You know, basically, he could remove a spirit from, like, if this basement was haunted, he could take care of it and get rid of it. Basically, he gets recruited by this guy named Reagan, and Reagan's got a business for doing that, but the thing is, Reagan may or may not be a complete fraud. He finds gullible clients that he does like ultimate moves, like throwing salt on them and stuff like that. But then Mob will just be like this casual kid that just kind of comes in and does this. But then, of course, some spirits are much more powerful than others, and there's like an overarching plot to the season. Mob also has a brother who's like the more likable, more athletic like version of him, and he's not like jealous. I mean, he's not like bitter about it, but he's just like, man, I want to be more like my younger brother, and he's always trying to improve himself like physically as well. So it's got like his own like personal struggles of like trying to fit in, but then, like I said, like there's the bigger plot of like. I mean, each season I feel like has maybe it's like 12, 13 episodes a season, similar length, and I feel like the front half plot, the back half plot for each season, and I mean, I personally like it. It's stuck with me. Like I was just like, I like it. There may have been, if you watch the dub, there may have been like a different like ownership of like who does the dub. So I haven't watched the dub yet, but I have it now, and I'm like, I think all the voices might be different. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know if it probably is also on Crunchyroll, but I also have the Blu-rays. So
It is, yeah.
hit me up.
Awesome.
It is.
HMU.
I think we have enough anime to watch for the rest of the year.
That's the thing. There's so much of it, and it's all good, and you gotta like pick and choose it. It's like,
Yep.
And they're like
If
the ones
only
that are
there was a
1,000
podcast
trillion.
we had where we recommended stuff to each other.
Yeah.
And we listened to each other. Like, no.
But then it's like we're naming like 15 anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is good, this is good, this is good.
They're all
this
like
is good.
150
Yeah.
episodes.
Oh, only 150 episodes.
And they're only
that's
long
all.
episodes.
Well, if there's something that is romantic and should be an anime, it's Hot Frosty.
Yes.
Oh.
That's at least a one and done. It should be an anime though. I would watch Hot Frosty do work.
It would be
all day.
better.
That made me feel like the most nauseous is thinking about a hot Frosty.
But he's a
Do you
chill
know
guy.
the plot?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Go.
So Hot Frosty, this lady, it opens up, this lady, her husband's dead, and he used to do all of the housework. Mm-hmm. All of the repairing and whatnot. He was the repairman. He was Tim Allen, Toolman Taylor. But so she's all alone. Her house is dripping. She has her bucket being filled up with water, minus the mop. And she walks around town, and these people are having a build-your-own snowman competition. And one of them being the hottest Frosty ever.
An anatomically correct
It is.
man.
That's an
It is.
anime?
No.
No, it's a movie. It's like a Lifetime
sounds
movie.
like
Oh, yeah. No, it's like I wish it was an anime.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, that's how they explained it to me. It's Netflix doing like a Lifetime Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, more Hallmark, big time Hallmark.
Oh, yeah.
So she walks around town. And it's late at night. She's got her diner
And
job.
she's one of the
and
actresses from Mean Girls.
she is. I didn't know that.
Oh, shit.
like really the Dixie Dub one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But she leaves her job, her shift's done and whatnot, and she's walking around town all lonely, and she sees how Frosty, and she's like, man, what I wouldn't do to have you around. And she puts her scarf around him, and he smiles at her, right? Like, Frosty actually smiles.
But it's an actual snowman.
That, at the time, it was an actual snowman. So it's weird. It's like, did that just happen?
He's kind of like an ice sculpture.
Yeah. It was very strange. So, like, they do a weird, like, and then all of the snow breaks off of him, and he's completely naked in the town.
Because he is anatomically correct as a snowman.
Yep.
So he's an anatomically correct male.
He was a naked snowman.
Yep.
They didn't sculpt him with clothes on, so he had zero clothes. So he's stumbling around with the big scarf covering his junk, and he breaks into his store because he like fell into it or something and broke the glass and then took clothes from like a thrift shop.
He's kind of got the scarf like taped to his dick.
It is. It's not moving at all. So you're not seeing any dong at all.
Wait, but so the snowman had a dong?
Yes,
Presumably,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
They put this in the middle of town?
Yes.
For little kids to see?
And the kids are literally building snowmen right next to this snowman.
Yes.
That's very weird.
Look at my big man penis.
Yeah, very strange. Was he hairless then?
He was.
It's kind of hairless. Hey,
Yeah.
Yep.
Except for the hair on his head.
That's about it. So he had the hair and whatnot, and he's from Parks and Rec or whatnot.
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek, that's the one. Schitt's
That's
Creek.
why we know him.
But I was watching with my
I'm
wife.
joking because we don't watch
She was just like, he's crazy looking, but somehow familiar. And I'm like going through his IMDb. I was like, oh, he was in 40-something episodes of Schitt's Creek. And she's like, he's that guy? And like, I looked at the picture. I'm like, he used to look like a human, and now he looks like, because he's a snowman, but
like jacked, skinny,
he's like,
skinny Jack.
Yeah, he's like jacked and anorexic looking at the same time. He's so like skinny, but like his muscles are huge. He's got huge veins. Like he must have been like pumping intense iron right before every shot, just make sure his veins are as bulgy as possible.
Interesting.
But he has such a light, gentle, like pleasant nature, and he's very lighthearted. And
Everybody loves him.
Yeah. So the problem that I personally have with the film is that he's a child, pretty much.
Huh?
But he's in an adult body. He's learning
he's
life.
like a day old.
Yeah, he is.
It's kind of got like that Little Mermaid effect where it's like, oh, he's basically a little boy in
But
a
it's
man's
not-
body.
it's
Like
not-
First Daima?
It's
and
not like
everyone's-
Little Things or whatever.
No, yeah. Poor Things.
Poor Things.
It's not like Poor Things, but he's like fresh, brand new, baby brained, and everyone wants to fuck the shit out of him.
But they don't know that. They just see a
Everybody.
grown man. They don't know that he's baby brained.
and he could just watch any repair video on a YouTube equivalent, and he could do it. Like he just sees it once, and he could fix everything. So he's fixing things for old women around the neighborhood.
And it's basically like porn for the town.
Yes.
because, like,
Everybody loves him. Yeah.
and even though it's winter, he's a snowman, and he wants to feel like cold feels normal to him. If he's inside in room temperature, he's like, oh my god, open a window. So he's
Like Mr. Freeze.
So he's not going to wear a shirt, is what I'm getting. at.
Okay.
He does, though, but except when he was fixing the roof, he wasn't wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he was, except when he wasn't.
And sometimes the scarf is on him, sometimes the scarf isn't on him, so the scarf is not needed for the magic to continue.
yeah, as far as we know,
Oh,
because it's strange.
thought that was the ending.
Even that's not clear.
No, because mainly it seemed like it was the Disney magic where the tear brought him the life back again.
which implies that the scarf had no power.
I think the power of love kept him going because he was after the girl that kind of like abducted him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh my God, this strange man's in this town. And I mean, he is kind of hot, but man, I mean, you're saying you're a snowman and you're presumably crazy? Come in my house.
And he's also kind of obsessed with her because
He is.
she brought him to life.
And she treats him like garbage.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's like doing all of this stuff and he's like, oh man, I want to take her out. And she's
Can I
like,
kiss you?
So, while you're fixing me dinner, ew.
Wow.
Sure, that's how it happens.
Are you cooking with your dick out again?
You fix my stairs and everything, ew.
Yeah, also he's cold to the touch.
yes.
Because he's frosty.
She's like, I don't get it.
I thought he was gonna fall through that step and like melt through it. And damn, did they prove me wrong.
I thought he was going to melt, period. He never did.
She had like a pretty nice guest room set up for
Yeah.
him. Like she had a guest room, so presumably she's had guests, and they don't care that she lives in squalor. But
lives in squalor and amazing. Lives in squalor.
She did remind me of to keep it consistent with the Netflix world. She reminded me of like a Love Is Blind character that doesn't go to the altar. She's like, I have to learn how to love myself first before I can learn to love another man.
Yep.
And that was her struggle. But also, I think she just needed another man.
I needed a friends with benefits. She didn't.
Yeah, a snowman.
Isn't it even a weird scenario when the whole town is like saying goodbye to him and they're all circled around him and they're walking her away from him like, it's okay, he's fucking dead. And isn't that how they play it out?
they do.
It's so strange.
Then he wakes up, and then he's a real boy. So it's also kind of like Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little Pinocchio magic, little
Jack
Hallmark
Frost,
movie.
obviously.
Yeah, with Jack Frost, and it's got the funny man that's the guy from The Office. He plays the town sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
because that's the catharsis of the movie.
Yeah, he's playing himself. That's what he does in every movie he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Robinson, right?
Yep.
Which one was it?
He's like all Seth Rogen
Yeah, he's
movies.
like the shipping guy, or like the.
It was in Goddamn Time Machine.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Yeah. He's the cop, and he's always if every movie he's in, he's like playing the piano and like making up lyrics. He does that in this movie too.
And so he's the one that ends up arresting him because he's like trying to figure out who startled these people, because there was old people seeing this naked guy in town like just after Frosty came to life. And then on top of that, there was also the theft that went on because he stole clothes and like shoes.
Yeah.
So that way he wasn't
upset.
naked.
Old lady was like turned on.
Yeah.
She was
She's like, "Don't let the poor man go."
yeah, let him go. Let him come to my house. Give
Yeah.
him bread.
Pretty much what happened. But everybody loves him, even the people that he ended up robbing from. He apologized for it because obviously he needed clothing, and he got it. Yeah, and he repaired everything for them.
Yeah, he fixes everything.
Yeah.
He does fix everything, even broken
So
hearts.
obviously his origin is hard to believe, and so it's not. Oh, and he doesn't have fingerprints, obviously.
No,
Yeah.
and Craig Robinson's like, "You burned them off, you sicko."
So
Does he get them when he becomes a real boy?
Unclear.
they're like immediately look at me. He developed fingerprints and like a social security card. Yeah. That's always the thing I get hung up about these movies. I'm like, so like, does he get like a social?
Yeah,
No, that's
because
what
he
we
does
said,
get
too.
a passport, and it's like you need like identification in order to get a passport. Because weren't they going to Hawaii?
The whole town vouched for him. I'm sure it was.
They
fine.
did.
It was
and
so-
they all,
yeah, dude.
They all were giving money for his bail for him being naked and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because he was dying in the jail. Yeah, he was melting in the jail.
Oh.
And they're like, "You got to get Frosty out. He's a snowman. He's going to die in
What
there."
happens when it becomes like summer?
No, now he's
Now he's a real
Yeah,
boy.
now he's a
So
real
that's
boy.
why he's going to
'cause
Hawaii.
At the end of the movie, he goes, "Oh, it's cold," to imply that.
Yep.
You don't need to
Now
see
he's
the
got a
movie
real
now.
man. Man, we've already described the whole thing.
Likelihood that the percentage that I was going to watch.
You're gonna watch.
Frosty.
Oh, this movie's won over everyone. who's
It
watched
actually
it.
is charming. It's
Yeah.
stupid, fun,
It's
great.
It's crappy as hell, but it's fun.
Interesting.
I love it.
Because sometimes, it's like you need a movie. I mean, you can watch it with your eyes glued to the screen, but you can also be like,
Bridget, it's one of the Bridget, is that you?
It's a phone scroller movie.
Yeah. Which Netflix says they put that in their contracts now. You got to make movies that are phone scrolling movies. I'm serious. That's real. Yeah. There's a whole release about that.
you both dropped the term like it exists, so I believe it exists now.
Yeah. So they had a whole thing saying like, oh, this movie's not like phone friendly. You got to have the characters describe what they're doing more, so people on their phone can still get it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's a real thing. It's crazy.
Wow, you're making me pizza and fixing my roof at the same time? He's like, "Yeah, I'm Hot Frosty. I'm talking now."
I'm talking now. You don't recognize the voices anymore?
I've just entered the screen. My name is Hot Frosty.
I am walking over to the lights to set them up.
I'm a snowman that came back to life, just in case you didn't. Yeah.
In case you were in the bath.
It's cold now that I, Hot Frosty, have been turned into a human.
I feel like we gotta start doing that in our podcast now. Like my hand is on the table and I'm tapping my fingers a little.
That is Matt talking, and now this is Tony talking about Matt.
Yeah.
Now this podcast is phone friendly.
Yeah.
I think this is the future. I think we have to stay ahead of the curve, and then we'll be able to make our stamp on the world.
Kyle's touching his iPad.
Yeah, groping at you.
Oh.
What if they made movies where like you watched a movie, but part of it is part of the phone scrolling?
No one watch it. There's too much effort.
Oh my god.
Like where like you watched a movie, but there's also shorts related to the movie you're
Oh my
watching.
god.
Oh my
Whoa, like targeted movie.
That would now you're talking.
Yeah, right?
Now you're talking.
This scene that you just watched, here's the making of it, or like a hilarious blooper.
Yeah.
One problem that's called the Wii U.
What do you mean?
The Wii U, where you had everything going on the TV,
Oh yeah,
and you had everything going on.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But we'll
Make
see.
it happen, marketing genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys watched this new Wallace and Gromit movie?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that. I love Wallace and Gromit. Let me start
Is this in theaters or?
I don't
Netflix.
think it was in theaters. I think it was just a Netflix exclusive.
It's ours.
It was
Maybe
an
British
older.
version.
They have two older movies from what I've seen. What I watched when I was younger, a lot of cheese, a lot of crackers, a lot of tea.
And they open their mouth like, cheese.
They still do that. They still do that.
Yep.
So this one is a continuing of another one. I don't know if it was the last one. I don't remember. About the criminal being the penguin, and it's called
Like the
Folly
Batman
of
penguin?
Feathers or something, right? Or was it
Vengeance most foul.
Vengeance Falls Foul? And so you have obviously has anybody seen Wallace and Gromit?
Yeah.
Matt has. So the dog doesn't talk, and the main villain also doesn't talk. He's a penguin. He wants to steal the diamond from the last one, and it's just I don't know if you want to describe it from the first person from seeing Wallace and Gromit. Go. They make Chicken Run too, so just remove that for Tony.
Oh, Tony saw the original Wallace and Gromit too.
Did he say that one with the rat in the sewer?
We watched it. We watched the moon cheese one.
Was that the moon cheese?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, yeah. So basically, how to describe it?
Top dog Gromit springs into action.
There we go.
His master when Wallace's high-tech invention goes rogue and he's framed for a series of suspicious crimes.
Yeah, the invention is garden gnomes that do everything for your garden for you. And they're like, finally, we're going to be able to pay our bills because you see late notices. The dog going through late notices.
I wish there was more penguin in the movie because the penguin was such a great
jail.
character.
He was in
Yeah,
jail
he was in jail.
Oh,
Yeah, but when he
He's
gets
Alice?
I keep bringing him in and out of jail.
Picture of him.
Jail.
yeah, he's great. He's a
So
very good
Feathers
character.
McGrow is his name.
McGrew. Yeah.
McGrew?
And he
McRoss.
so he has like these disguises, right? So at one point in the movie, the sheriff's like,
Oh my God.
oh that can't be.
It must be him. It's him. And then he
Well,
turns around.
So wait. So the sheriff thinks that he's still in prison, but the girl cop was the one that's like, oh no, that's the penguin guy. Like that's and he's like, what? How? So then the penguin hears them saying that. So then when he turns around, he's wearing a little nun outfit, and he goes,
he's like,
that's not the
"Black and
penguin.
white."
That's some little old nun.
Oh my god.
The penguin's very smart.
Yeah.
The penguin also puts on a rubber glove, and he's like, I'm a chicken.
Yeah.
It's a very cute kids movie.
yeah.
I liked it. It was very cute. It was easy to follow. It was Wallace and Gromit.
How many times did they say something that was happening on screen?
I was gonna make the same fucking joke already. Yeah. I, Wallace, am talking to my dog Gromit, and the penguin's running away.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one wasn't much of a phone scroller because the
Wow.
dog doesn't talk and the penguin doesn't talk.
Either.
So Wallace has to talk for Gromit.
Yeah, but he's not in every scene that Gromit's
No,
in.
it isn't. It's,
Oh, last scene, Gromit was. It's wild.
I think the kids would like it. I think it was very cute. The kids would like it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was very. They didn't mention cheese a lot.
Wow.
At all.
One time.
One time.
Yeah, the password.
The password was cheese. But I was like, I wanted more cheese. Just because the original. But
Yeah,
they
bring
just,
your own.
They did mention a lot of tea. They did mention tea a lot.
Tea
So
and crumpets.
it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah.
It's a British word.
It's like the Paddington Marmalade.
Yes, it's the same
It's
thing.
if like Paddington 3, they don't mention marmalade more than once. They're like, is this even a Paddington?
What
He
about
just
fish
starts-
and chips?
Yeah, no, Paddington just starts eating cheese and crackers. Like, I got it from some fucking dog.
I really enjoy the aspect of the gnomes that do everything.
The robot gnomes.
robot gnomes.
Norbot. is the
Norbots.
name of the main.
Yeah, with his invention to help Gromit with his gardening chores that he didn't want help with. That was like his one stress relief.
Hear me out. It's going to sound a little crazy.
Okay.
Live action Wallace and Gromit.
I like it.
Adam Sandler's Wallace. Kevin James is Gromit.
Oh
I
my
like
god.
I like this.
This is a dog?
This doesn't sound crazy at all. He just doesn't talk. He's like Silent Bob.
Yeah.
He does this happy shrug.
Or his typical lean like.
And who's a penguin?
Danny DeVito.
Danny
Jack Nicholson.
Ooh. I'm the penguin.
Who's that actor that kind of looks like? I'm not gonna do that. We're good.
Danny McBride.
Yes, Danny. No.
It was cute. It was a cute movie. I liked it. 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Wow. Oh, it's falling by the
Oh,
second.
yeah.
7, 6.
Wait for her to settle to one.
Because they had no cheese. It was.
Ah, yeah.
Anyone
very
cast
cute.
Diddy as the penguin,
but
he'll be in jail.
He said, "I'm surprised they didn't cast Diddy as the penguin because he's gonna be in jail."
You're right.
That's what Matt just said.
From the live action. That's what Matt in the red shirt. It looks like it's a short movie too, so that's more perks.
Yeah.
I love me a short movie.
I think it's cute.
Good deal. All right, so that's on Netflix, you said.
Yep.
Good thing. They need more subscribers, right? Okay. All right. Speaking of Netflix, Netflix royalty from the Ozarks, Jason Bateman's got his new show, Carry On.
Oh, that was a movie.
That's a movie?
It was a movie.
Yeah.
It was good. And it has Eggsy from Kingsman in it.
Yeah.
Yep. Edwin McGregor. No, not Edwin McGregor. What the heck? No, why am I the Taron Egerton? Now I'm mixing up their
It's the
names.
eggs.
Yeah, the egg people.
I remember signing the face to the name before I turned it. Okay,
He's the
keep
one that
going.
everyone wanted to be Wolverine. For some
Yeah.
reason. But yeah, so this movie is about a TSA guy and Marty from Ozark.
He's intimidating because he's like, I'm going to kill your girl.
Yeah, he does that a lot in the movie.
Wow.
I genuinely thought the beginning was a little slow, but it picks up so much. And you remember the movie Phone Booth?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, okay, it's in one phone booth. How entertaining can this movie be?
Yeah.
And then it's actually like really compelling.
Yep.
This movie's got the same kind of energy where it's like he's just a fucking TSA guy sitting at this checkout with, and then it like, and it goes nuts.
Interesting.
I think Dad would really like the movie.
Mom and Dad said they watched it and they liked it.
Oh.
They didn't like it?
They liked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said- Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. They were telling us about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did your dad say it's really accurate to what goes on in there?
It also got a little bit of Toy Story 2 energy.
It did.
That is like the whole movie's there.
Interesting.
Yeah, watch it from the TSA perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did work for TSA. So
Oh, yes.
Just stepping back one moment. Tony with the Wallace and Gromit was too logical. I go like a.
But you'd be logical.
Oh, for just one scene. I'm saying this one scene is too coincidental.
Wow.
Like
Sit
everything-
across from each other and look into each other's eyes.
Because
Sort this out.
the penguin hacks into the gnome
Wallace's
that was
computer.
From prison?
being
prison.
charged on the computer. And Tony's like,
No, so it would have been better if
it's a cartoon. I'm just
the gnome was also like already supposed to have been plugged into that computer.
he was plugged in.
No, only because of Gromit moving him down there. So I'm like, the only way this plan would have worked at all was if Gromit got annoyed enough to move him into the computer and plug him in.
You're too passionate about this. It's too fucking funny.
No, I think we're down to an 8.5 now.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Tony, I go.
This is why I like when Tony doesn't like things. I've seen him passionately complain about
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit.
It's just the one scene. Just
Fucking
one scene.
amazing.
I like the penguin. They should have had more of the penguin.
You're always passionate. It's just a matter of which way does it go.
yeah.
But I don't know.
it's so
I go,
fucking funny.
Lego. I'm building Legos. He's like,
I just picture it. What the fuck is this shit? Oh my god! What's a pig? How's he supposed to do this?
Meanwhile, he's using rubber gloves to type on the computer.
He just pretended to be a nun.
Yeah.
I just turned and I see Tony's face like, and I'm like, you're too much.
Yeah, you become too invested.
Yeah.
So Carry On was good, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Carry On about Carry On.
2 thumbs up.
It was good. Yeah, I recommend. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to spoil it.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't on my radar, so if you recommend it, then I'll make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thrilling. It's got good action at times. It's fun.
If you had to fast forward to the beginning a little bit,
I like the beginning. I thought it gives the exposition
I was gonna
and
say-
stuff like that.
It's like
I can
Act
see-
1 setup.
Yeah.
it is, but yeah.
Exposition has been implied.
Yeah.
I mean,
Half
even-
hour.
I still was awake, so it did something right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you fall asleep that fast during the movie? Be like, opening credits.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I
you
can.
Yes.
I could be super excited for a movie and then out next second.
Yep. Wow.
Matt didn't remember watching Red 1.
I didn't.
And I was just like, you guessed who one of the actors was playing the Krampus. And he's like, oh, yeah, I
That's
did
the only
do
thing
that.
I remembered. Yeah, after you mentioned it.
movie.
Yeah.
I have no recollection about that movie at all.
We were like talking over it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
half paying attention.
Yep.
It was a phone scroller movie.
Maybe.
I heard it wasn't amazing.
It's okay.
But it's The Rock, and it's got
Silly.
the guy
Chris
that's
Evans.
I don't think it's a phone scroller movie because we missed a lot of beats in the movie.
Jonah
So,
James.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just another movie where Santa got, was really ripped, and they didn't give him any excuse to like
get captured or whatever.
like see his body.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a cage.
It was, what's his face, Jay Jonah.
Yeah.
Oh, J. Jonah Jameson.
Because he got like, super ripped when he was playing Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
And then you never ever saw like his muscles in it. And it almost looks like he just maintained that bod for playing Santa. And I was like, this is like the badass ripped Santa movie. And then he proceeds to be kidnapped the entire movie.
Yep.
Oh.
Does
He
nothing.
just pulls a dende.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
So anyway, so I'm glad to hear that Carry On is enjoyable and entertaining. I mean, airplanes are scary enough. I should probably not watch this with my wife if she
Whoa.
has a fear of flying.
Yeah, you'll have a fear of new things on planes.
This might be a Kyle watches this alone type of thing. And I'll have my own fear of flying probably. Okay. All right. So we're still going strong with the outline, but we're hitting kind of like the holiday stuff. We have, I'm not sure if this Christmas, is that new or old or if
It was new.
Yeah, that was a new
brand new.
movie. It was unique. It's like the parents are knocked out of the picture for the majority of the movie. So it's kind of, yeah,
They're like in a death scenario.
pretty much.
And it's like a kid's movie.
They're like in the middle of this horrible winter. Their car got demolished and
They
whatnot.
flipped
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
They're like lost.
Yeah,
it's
hungry,
fucking- yeah.
all
fucked up.
Yeah.
Mhm. And the kids are running amok in the house.
Yeah, they're having like Rumspringa. In the,
So it's like Lord of the Flies, but holiday style.
but only for the parents. Because
Oh.
the kids are all having a fun time.
Yeah, but they're throwing dishes around and stuff like that, and they
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're saying
so
not the kill piggy part.
yeah,
but-
no, they're
okay,
not
gotcha,
killing
gotcha,
anybody.
yeah.
Or there was one part that was questionable because they weren't paying full attention of somebody.
Yeah, but that was the stupid. Oh, that was so annoying. All right, keep
That
going,
was
keep going,
annoying.
keep going.
But yeah, it's pretty much these kids just trying to survive while their parents are gone.
Home Alone.
Yeah, that too.
A little bit of that.
If they were all home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit
because
of that.
they're all from separate families, but they're all in the same house.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're not all related.
And then there's this like side story happening with
Mm-hmm.
this kid being really lonely because his mom works too much and his dad is dead maybe or gone. Whatever it is, the dad's gone and this kid's alone and he ends up hanging out with the teacher a bunch even
Oh,
though there's
wait.
no school.
Wait, that was the same movie?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a separate movie.
No, same movie.
Yeah.
That's just like the B plot and then he helps the old lady helps him
Yes, yes.
find the parents.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, she's the And the lady seems like she's a mean lady, but
Yeah.
she's extremely nice.
Yeah, she's like that angry girl from Matilda, the mean teacher that throws her by the pigtails. But instead, she's like the sweetest person.
Is this movie animated?
Yeah.
Okay. It's called That Christmas.
For some reason, originally I was picturing them as real people.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, this whole thing, I
I was like, wait a second, that was the same animated movie?
I'm looking at the poster, and it has Santa on it, and it's animated. I'm like, you guys haven't said anything that describes this whatsoever.
Because Santa barely shows up.
Yep.
If I think one time
I think he's the main character from the poster.
that is bullshit. That is false advertising. Like
is.
nobody's fucking
It is.
Wow.
Yes.
because it's all about just like these kids and the parents and all that shit. And Santa shows up one time to give a gift at the end, and it doesn't even fucking matter. It doesn't even fucking matter.
Wow.
To the point where I'm like, why do they even show Santa? Because they show him in the beginning too, right?
So they did.
The mean old lady teacher also kind of reminds me of Home Alone 2. The girl.
The pigeon lady.
Yeah, the pigeon lady.
A little bit of pigeon lady energy, except it's kind of weird because he shouldn't be at school, but he's over there, and the teacher's kind of watching him from.
Because I think what was it? The father died and her husband died when she was like recently married, and so she was widowed, and she's like lonely because he doesn't have a father.
And his mom just can't stop working.
Yeah, his mom really can't stop working. She's like nonstop. She works like 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, and they're like, you're going to work on Christmas? She goes, I have to. I have to work on Christmas Day. He goes, yeah, but you said you're going to be home. Like, that's gotta fucking work. She's the biggest piece of shit in the movie.
She kind of is. That's
like,
why that's surprising. Like, she's supposed to be, they even animate her like she's a loving mom and whatnot, but then the lady that looks mean is the one that's actually the loving person.
Yeah,
she's like a surrogate mother to this kid.
Because all the parents in the deaf scenario, they're all like, we got to get back to our kids. We love them so much. And his mom's like, see you on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, it was actually a fun movie. It was a cute, fun movie. The relationships with the kids are neat, and the only thing that's really strange is like how the conflict at the end is so forced because they're watching like one of the little kids the whole time. Then once the parents come home, they're like, "Hey, where's that kid?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, and then she got like 3 miles away. It's like, how did she get that far?
And there's also a scene where the whole town is struggling for food because they're cut off, and then one of the kids lets all the food free, lets all the chickens free. And it's
Yes.
And it's kind of like
the turkey.
you starved everyone in this fucking town, and they're all gonna die now because of you.
They want holiday food.
Yeah,
And the guy's price gouging too, so that's like,
that
ouch.
was messed up. That was messed up. I thought she was gonna get the turkeys for the families and just like let the families get them, but no, she just lets them all free. We're like, wow, we're gonna eat.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was a fun movie. I did like it.
It was.
cute.
It was a good movie.
And you watched a movie that is not so new. In fact, I think it was a TV movie from the 90s, but Bridget has hung on to it and been one of her, like, this is like a Christmas staple for her, and introduced you guys to it. What was it called?
Christopher and the Christmas Tree.
Christmas tree.
I'm Christopher. I'm a giant tree.
Okay, so it's a phone scroller.
It was insane. This movie's insane.
Yeah.
And it turns out our president of the time was in that movie in a log cabin.
Yeah, it's a very patriotic movie. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to add that.
Yeah,
I didn't mention that.
Well, we saved it for the podcast.
Yeah, because Christopher, spoiler alert, for a movie from 1993, Christopher becomes like America's tree at the White House.
He does. He
Only
does.
in the United States version of this movie.
And the owl's like, "You're gonna die, though.
Yeah.
Aren't you sad about this?" He's like, "No, this is what I wanted for my entire life.
I always wanted to be America's tree.
I always wanted to be killed and brought to Washington, D.C. for everybody to hang lights on me."
Meanwhile, when he's on the
And the animals are all like bumping uglies under him.
Yes.
Like, out in the yes.
the movie starts with all of his friends getting chopped down, and he's like, "I just wish I was chopped down."
Well, technically, they're making fun of him for being a little tree.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, you're like, oh, good, they're all dead.
Yeah, because that's the
like-
implication.
Yeah.
And so then he grows, and all the animals are like, "It's so cold in the winter. We need somewhere to fuck." So they all have sex in the tree.
It's like,
TV movie.
oh.
And then there's a weird B plot with the president at a log cabin.
And the owl,
And
the
the
owl,
owl.
that's how they brings the president into the movie. Because there's an owl that's also being made fun of by its friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, you're a loser, you're an owl, you can't do anything, you loser. And it's like walking around crying for like 3 minutes. and it freezes in the snow, and that's when the president's son picks him up, and he's like, Daddy, this owl is dying, we gotta... And he's like, oh, bring it by the fire and warm him up.
Yeah. And then they're like, one day you're going to be the president, little kid.
Yeah. That's like, I don't think the presidency works like that.
I thought you.
Yeah, that's a king.
I thought you meant it was like a depiction of the actual president of the time.
No, it's the actual president in our movie, because at the tree becomes the international tree of like peace at the time.
Yeah, so eventually he does grow big and strong enough to be chopped down, and he's chopped down and he's put on like one of those log carrying tractors. So the whole time he's like, "Oh, they're gonna kill me! Oh, that's gonna happen! They're gonna kill me!" And all animals are trying to like save him from there. He's like, they fail, and then he gets brought to the White House, and he's like, "Wait, I'm America's tree. This is great!" And that's the movie.
It sounds like a Robot Chicken sketch.
No.
I don't know what it sounds like. So, I feel like I'm trying to see if I even understand the point. So, other trees are bullying him. They get chopped down and stop talking, implying that they're dead.
Oh yeah, they're completely removed from the forest.
Yeah.
Gone.
So they're gone, never to be heard from again.
Yeah.
But to you, the viewer, you're like, oh my god, they're chopped down, therefore they're dead, or they're having a life that goes on, even though they're chopped.
Someone's Christmas tree, and then they're disposed of and they're dead.
So their whole life is to be the tree for a season and then get thrown away.
Yes.
So with
That's said.
So with you in that mindset, you're like, well, that's what'll happen to our main character if he were to get chopped down.
Yeah.
But in the end, he gets chopped down and lives happily ever after.
And the implication was like, you're gonna die now that you've been chopped down.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, it's okay. I'm America's tree for now. I've always wanted this.
Oh, okay.
And he's literally at the White House. Only in the America version of this film.
So he's
Wait a minute, there's other versions of this film?
Every country has a Christopher the Christmas tree.
No, so in other countries, he becomes like NATO's Christmas tree.
What? What?
Political.
Yeah. So he's like every country's tree. But in America, they're like, "Fuck that shit. He's America's tree."
Wow.
Yeah. That's the only difference in the
So
movies.
what has to change? Just one scene?
Just that ending scene.
Interesting. Wow.
So it was the all-purpose president of every country that they wanted to put it in?
No, there's only the America version, and then the every country
International
gets it. Yeah,
version?
international.
Wow. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What a fascinating movie.
I've never heard of that.
And Bridget was obsessed with it. She goes, "I watch it all the time. I watch it every year." Or like, "You watch this every?"
Sounds depressing as hell.
Depressing as hell.
It was strange. Definitely left a weird taste in my mouth. I was like, "Agent, turn your head. Agent, don't look at this."
Because technically, as a viewer, you're then rooting for this character to continue to be bullied so that he can be alive.
No, all of his friends are dead. He's by himself in the forest.
So you want him to die.
No, you want him to live, and then they chop him down.
Then if he gets chopped down, so you're rooting for him not to be chopped down.
Exactly. Yes. And then he gets chopped down, and then he's just happy.
Does it hurt him when he gets chopped?
Yeah. They're chopping me down. Yeah. And all the animals in the tree like, "Oh fuck, our home."
I probably made a lot of people like vegan and shit like that, but like, or is it the opposite? Like, see, trees have pain too.
I just won't eat anything.
Yeah, or else
Made them into hippies. Like, don't chop down the tree.
yeah, see the trees, eat the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no nutrients in there. I feel like I've just been like watching the same stuff. Like I've watched a few more episodes of Squid Game season 2. I'm still going strong on that. I feel like I need another like dumb show. It's been a while since like we watched like any like Love Is Blind thing. So I feel like honestly I don't miss it. At the same time, last season
I know. Yeah.
kind of like took me out of it a little bit. So
Gianna's watching the Ultimatum, and that's a phone scrolling show because I was like, Gianna, I want to do something, and I don't want to watch. Like, I don't care what I watch. She goes, "Oh, you don't care what I watch? I'll put on the Ultimatum." And whatever past few episodes happened, I was like, "Fuck, I need to see where this goes."
really,
I really do need to see where this goes because, like half the contestants left. There's a black title card, and it's like these people packed their bags and left. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
So there's like this guy who's walking around who now has no person in the experiment, and his wife's basically had sex with the other guy.
Solid.
And he's at the apartment like, what is the purpose of this? I'm here. I have no one. Like, let's go. We're done with this. And she's like, you're not letting me get the full experience.
That's awesome.
I was like, and John's like, oh, well, time for bed. I was like, play the next one.
They got you back.
They did, yeah.
The prior season, I remember a couple did just straight up leave, and I felt like the show doesn't account for this, unless maybe they learned after that, but it's just like there is not enough material. Like, they could have made the episode shorter, but they don't. And it's just like they're spending extra time with these people, and it's just so much more mundane than they probably intended with the editing. So I can only imagine if even more people left. They're just like, okay, we're going to spend an insane amount of time with each one of you, including this guy who's just apparently staring at the wall all day. He's contractually obligated to be here.
Wow. Yeah.
That's so funny. That's just like his wife or whatever, his girlfriend that he won't propose to is the plot of the show.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't give a fuck that you have...
No. Yeah.
You're going to be on camera looking dumb, bored out of your mind. I get to have sex with another man.
Well, when he goes there, the guy that she was doing the experiment with, he goes, you barged into my room to talk to my wife because it's the trial marriage. So he calls her his wife. I was like, bro, what the hell? This is so strange. I know. Yeah, I didn't want to watch it either, but I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
They got me. They got me.
Even though, is it dull though? Like once the people leave and they're spending so much time with fewer people?
It's still pretty good, but at the same time, it's like, it's a good show that like, you have something else to do and you put it on in the background.
That's the only way to watch those things.
I think it's best like that.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying full attention, it's going to just be like crap.
Gotcha. Any fun happenings in the land of optimism?
Of course there is. I have some New Year's facts for everybody. Let me pull up my handy dandy notebook. Yes. My handy dandy
Is
notebook.
that Stink Poo Buddies in there or something like that? What's his name?
Stink Butt the Clown.
Oh, Stink Butt the Clown. Yeah, he's in that book.
He's in the far back.
He's
Yeah.
There's over 50 tons of trash that's left over in Times Square after the New Year's Eve.
I believe so. Yeah. And this year it was rainy trash.
That was the closest I
And
got.
there's 3,000 pounds of confetti.
3,000 pounds.
No, anyways, I want to interrupt you. The facts. The facts are dropping.
The confetti in Times Square holds secret messages, so all that confetti has people's wishes for the upcoming year.
What?
It just rains from the sky.
Who's putting their wishes
People
on them?
submit it. I don't know.
Oh,
Since
how do we
when?
submit it?
I don't know.
Bigger
Since ever.
dong. Bigger dong.
A thousand of them.
What is this wish?
Immortality.
With a bigger dong.
So did you know that on
That's
the
crazy.
actual ball that drops, that there is different patterns every single year?
Yeah.
Like it's not the same ball. It's different.
Oh, yeah, they updated it a little bit.
Waterford, that does the glass, like the
I thought you were saying that's the name of the ball. I was like, the
No.
ball has a name?
Waterford glass.
His name is Waterford.
No, Waterford glass, which is a type of like a glass maker that people buy, like
Like it's a company?
glass, like flower vases.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, like collectibles, things like
Yeah,
that, like
very-
Swarovski.
Yes, they make the patterns every year.
Wow.
Patterns every year.
That's crazy.
And people wait online. So the sphere is made up of 2,688 crystal triangles that has over 32,000 lights. And it also displays over 6 million color patterns.
And you see it go down for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Or you go to Bryant Park and you look over like, oh, I think that's it over there.
And people wait online to buy them. I saw
Buy
this
them?
year people bought like the panels, separate panels.
Wow, I didn't know that they sell them.
I can't believe anyone would want to buy that.
People wait online from like 4, 3.
I wonder how much they cost. That's smart, like to sell it.
Yeah.
In pieces too, not even all
Yeah, I
together.
know. What the hell?
Yeah.
Suckers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that this is the closest I've gotten to Times Square for New Year's because I had to take the train to Grand Central, and then I was meeting people like way downtown in Manhattan, but I was just like, oh, it's like you just hop on the subway. So I'm, like I follow the signs to the subway, and like an idiot because I'm much more familiar with Penn Station than taking the Long Island Railroad to Grand Central.
Yeah, same.
I was like, oh, the subway. I'll just follow the subway signs. I'll get to my train. I didn't realize the subway didn't even. That particular subway train I need to get to was not one of the ones attached to Grand Central. I had to walk outside, so I had literally walked like an avenue in the wrong direction. So I had to walk like a few more avenues back, and I got like very, very close to Times Square. And like it was starting to get like really crowded. I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh man,
I got a little nervous being over there. Then I hopped on the subway and went downtown, and it was much more chill.
it's scary with people with all their diapers.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was not fun because I was a cop, so I had to stand there for however long it was. It's just a bunch of people all crowded together, and like there's nothing for them to do. They just stand there the whole time.
It's like cattle.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Did you see the video of them like opening up the gate and seeing like these people running and like racing each other to be like have the best spots? It's like they just opened up the gates so like all the sheep could run in and like.
Did you see that guy propose to that girl on New Year's? He rented out the screen that's right below the ball that as soon as it said Happy New Year, it said, "Will you marry me?" And then he also rented out a spot so they could film it happening. Wow. This guy's a billionaire right next to the Kia. Yeah, and people said if he wanted to, he would. That's an example. If he wanted to, he would.
I'd like it if she said no.
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah. All that. And
It's like, no, who are you?
The guy rented out. He made a whole video and like he did the work.
Wow, it was Mr. Beast.
All I know is when the ball was dropping, I had a big like urge to buy a Kia. Did you all feel that way?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Just a gigantic
strangely.
Kia sign like right by the ball.
New Year brought to you by Kia.
So unfortunately, due to alarm issues this morning, the time of recording, there's no Batwoman. But we have just a short time left. But Matt has watched a movie that apparently is very important to our friend Mark for him to watch.
Oh, Jumanji.
And it is Jumanji.
So
The first one?
oh yeah.
Matt, so we get to please Mark and give Mark what he asked for. He's like, you better talk about this.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did say that.
Yeah. So we saved it for the end. So you're like, Mark, you can just watch the end, listen to the end.
He wants all thing. Yeah. See where we talk about it.
All right, so
It was good. The CGI of those monkeys was terrifying, though.
Yeah.
But seeing Robin Williams' glowing face on the screen was also a delight because now he's deceased. It sucks. But
So they say.
yeah.
What do you think of the spiders?
Reincarnated. The spiders were funny. I like the spiders. The spiders were cool.
What about the monkey boy?
The monkey boy looked like he was from Dr. Seuss. I thought he was like the Grinch or something.
Yeah.
He was like, he had like the butthole mouth all day. Yeah.
and when he
like-
cried,
Yeah.
My tail. He was Gohan.
Yep.
Maybe
What'd you think about your favorite actress in the beginning of the movie?
Favorite act? Yes, Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
I was like, I forgot she exists.
This is where she was born.
Nah, she was born in an Interview with a Vampire or before that.
I know.
Because she was like that size of that cup in Interview in a Vampire. Yeah, she was small.
Pretty big. This is so big.
So for some reason in Jumanji, that shoe scene, I always mix up with
Oh my God! Yes,
Tommy Boy. Always mix it up with Tommy Boy.
Whoa!
That shoe scene is. I was actually thinking of that shoe scene because that, for some reason, stuck in my brain is the shoe.
Tommy Boy gets rocked, bro.
Yep.
That was crazy. Oh yeah, well, he's getting beaten up by those bullies.
Yeah, yeah.
Kiss me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Woof. He's like, I'm gonna stand my ground. And then the father's like, "Yep, you did a good job. You get the belt."
Yep.
That's how it all started.
That's where.
oh, did it start with that?
I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe it was when the shoe got broken. You're getting the belt.
I can't remember what we watched first, if it was that or no, we watched Secret Level afterwards. It's true. The belt was still going strong with it.
Now we gotta watch Jumanji because I've never seen Jumanji.
Oh, I haven't seen
Oh,
any of those.
there's two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the new
But there's three.
Yeah, for some reason I thought 3 also.
We
No, 3 was the original.
Yeah, yeah, two, yeah.
Wow.
Wait, are they making a third?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could they be running on a technicality?
Pneumanja.
Yeah, well, I'll ask Mark for his Fandango at home, and you can watch it. Okay, so
With that, it was a delight. It was a blast of the past because, man, there was a lot of practical effects. Wasn't all CGI, only the monkeys were CGI that I recall.
yeah, the lion looked cool. I was like, honestly, for its time, like if you want the monkeys to be terrifying, missions
They want.
so successful.
The other animals were CGI though. The elephants and the
The one that
rhinos.
gets sucked back in. Yeah.
You know what else is a good movie that I suggest you watching next time is the Indian in the Cupboard.
I've seen that, of course, a
Damn
million
it.
times.
Okay.
Totally,
Such a good
it's the Native American in the cupboard.
You're right. I'm sorry, Native American in the Cupboard. I'm just stating the movie. I know. All right.
It's not your fault they named it that.
But yeah, the only thing that was creepy about Jumanji was them staring at the kids like they were hungry. They're like,
At the end
there
of the movie,
they are. It's like, huh.
Yeah.
felt like we've known them forever.
Yeah.
Like you're just like one adult to us, so it's weird.
Yeah. I always really liked the wooden board game.
Cool physical.
I always felt like, I don't know, like a tactile thing. Like I want to touch that board game.
Especially it moves the way the pieces.
Yeah, I know. It's like
my
so
God.
satisfying.
Yeah, which it makes sense because that game gets all thrashed and thrown around that, like, yeah, it's got to like stay in place and be sturdy.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Pseudo Adults. I'm the one of the hosts, but I am the one that sits solitary in the middle, smushed between everyone. My name is Kyle. I'm wearing a greenish shirt, and I am saying thank you for tuning in.
Well, my man.
I'm Alex.
I'm Rachel.
This is the one that's talking. That is Tony.
Wow.
Yes, and hope you've been enjoying doom scrolling while listening to us.
Happy New Year.
We are Pseudo Adults.
The ending was.